Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi Hotz here. It's Wednesday, and the Raptors are playing another 10 p.m. start game Eastern time in Sacramento, California, as they take on the Sacramento Kings tonight. The Kings have not played a preseason game yet. This will be their first game of the preseason against us. And well, we got to do the preview. So, latest lineup news, ref report, and the keys to the victory, the path to the win, uh, classic card, Instagram stories, Raptors Reddit reaction, all the good stuff coming up on the show right now. Let's do it, Raptor freaks. It's Kings, Raptors tonight, 10 p.m. preseason, baby. Yeah, that's right. I love this matchup tonight because we're going to see some of my favorite people on the other side. I love DeMar DeRozan. I'm a big, huge DeMar DeRozan stan. On a good day, DeMar is my GOAT. He is my greatest Raptor of all time. So I always enjoy the chance to watch the GOAT once again, the man who put Toronto over everything, and Toronto sold him out. And in some ways, that to me makes him bona fide in my heart forever for the rest of my life. And the fact that he's a big enough person to forgive the city of Toronto and the fans and the Raptors and not hold any animosity towards them in this situation shows that he's a very, very mature, very well adjusted, very, very strong man. And I appreciate him for that, man, because some other people would have mentally crumbled, and he did for a while. It was hard, but he's a warrior, a mental health warrior. And he went through the storm of his own thoughts, his own feelings of what the situation was and how to look at it. And he came out bigger, badder, and stronger. I always salute DeMar DeRozan, one of the top scorers in the history of the NBA, and a for sure Hall of Famer when this is all said and done. And don't get it twisted. That number 10 is going in the rafters at Scotiabank Arena, Drake. You idiot. Yeah, it'll be up there. You ain't got nothing to say about that, bro. You don't have it like that. No, you ain't got it like that. All right. So, yeah, DeMar's number goes up because Raptors fans want that. Okay. Yeah. So, what else are we going on? Let's go see what's going on. First, we'll do the latest lineup news. There are two lists on the Raptors injury report. It's the same two from Monday. It's two of our centers. Of course, Jakob Poeltl, they're saying that he was out on Monday due to a back issue, which is interesting. I thought it was because he was wearing a face mask, but I guess he was out due to a back issue on Monday. Probably just nothing. Probably a piddly little thing that just held him out for a second. And then Shamshay is still a day-to-day also, but there's no ruling on them for tonight. So they both could be available, either one of them or neither of them, or one of them. We could, whatever. It's very flexible. And game time decisions will be had tonight. Trust me. There's going to be players. There could very well be one of the other starters that does not play tonight, or maybe not. Maybe Darko's going to try and get all five of them out there to start the game to really get the five look, because we, once again, did not accomplish that the first preseason game with Jakob being out. So I don't know who's going to show up or not. The Raptors report is going to be very mysterious and right up until the beginning of the game. And there may be a late scratch of any player in the lineup for any small reason, just to kind of allow deeper play in the roster from the bench over time. Yeah, seriously, they'll do this. They'll do this. In some ways, they kind of did that with Yak being out. This is like, yeah, let's look at Mamu more. And let's get Jonathan out there running too. So don't expect everybody to play tonight. Expect some people to be out, but it may be for really silly, small reasons. And it may be different people than Shamshay and Poeltl this time. Now, on the other side, I don't see any injuries for the Kings listed, but there could very well be somebody sitting out like Aaron Gordon in the game on Monday. But yeah, this is who the Kings are now. It's very interesting. Malik Monk was on the injury reserve list, but he's been taken off of it. He was the last player that was injured this summer. But he's their starting point guard now. Sixth man of the year candidate Malik Monk has graduated to the starting lineup after all of the people in front of him, Halliburton and De'Aaron Fox. This man is the last man standing, and they're putting him at the point guard starter. But honestly, I could see them starting Dennis Schroeder, FIBA MVP, Eurobasket MVP, Team Germany MVP. Yeah, Dennis Schroeder is likely, maybe possibly to start in the place of Malik Monk. I'm not totally sure, but they're listing Malik as the starter. Of course, Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are the two wings for the Kings right now, transferred from the Bulls. to the Kings, and it's quite a look that's very familiar for both of them, playing alongside each other for years since on the Bulls, and now they're on the Kings together. So yeah, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, probably the two most important scorers on this team that we have to watch out for. We're going to see one of the Murray twins. Keegan Murray is starting at power forward for them right now. And Domantas Sabonis, the Lithuanian center, friend of Jonas Valanciunas, is, of course, the guy who's been there the longest and been on that team as a figurehead. So Domantas in the middle. So it's a 3D attack of Dennis, DeMar, and Domantas that we're going to see tonight. Now, off the bench, who's the rest of the Kings right now? Keon Ellis, Nick Clifford, Isaac Jones, who we saw at Summer League in the game that we lost in the Summer League, the 5th game against the Kings. Isaac Jones was very dangerous to the Raptors and dominating with size. Maybe some of the Raptors who played in the Summer League team could have a little gumption to come back and get Isaac for the job he did against the Raptors Summer League team. I'd like to see some, receipts, guys, because that man did mess us up in Summer League. Drew Eubanks is the backup center. Devin Carter, the son of former Raptor Anthony Carter, is on this team. The sharpshooter that used to play for the Spurs and the Pacers is on this team, Doug McDermott. Also got Dario Saric, the old European sharpshooter. Let's see who else. Maxime Renaud, of course, their draft pick this summer from France. Maxime, the big center. And that's about it. That's pretty much their nucleus right there. So it's, it's kind of ho-hum talent with some, I don't even know who you are on the end of the bench. So we'll just have to see how it goes with the Kings. They're not projected to do very well in the West this year. And we'll just have to get our first eye test on them and gauge them for the year. In some ways, I wish good things for them. I really do, obviously, because of DeMar and company. So who knows? I'd like them to be surprisingly okay. I don't want them to be one of the worst teams in the West. I'd love to see them in the play-in kind of area of the standings. I think that may not be totally realistic. It may not happen that way. But if they're round 9th or 10th in the West, that may be successful for them. I watched the Rico runs. I've been catching up on them. There's a really good Raptor Rico run that dropped yesterday that's very predominant of Raptors. We had two good teams there, and they were dominating the day they went to UCLA. I feel redeemed because I saw the Raptors' Instagram stories were at UCLA, and I'm like, oh, maybe the Raptors did do Rico runs. And well, they did. It's been confirmed yesterday. We've seen it. And RJ Barrett's kind of the star. We see Grady Dick, Jamal Shedd, Jonathan Mobo, and then a bunch of the second team guys are there too, including David Roddy, Chucky Hepburn, Elijah Martin. If you had not seen the new Rico runs clip that came out yesterday, it's not very long. It's very Raptors dominant. And they actually dominate there. You can see that they stay on the big court and dominate it. And Rico says some really nice things about Jamal Shedd at the end of the video. He said, I can feel your basketball power, almost like it's Jedi energy or something like that. I can feel your power, Shedd. I can feel it. That's what Rico said. It's hilarious. And he also said something at the end of the practice that the Raptors were at. He said, any of you old timers want to speak at the end of here? He always does that. And guess who steps up and starts speaking? And I don't know if you can consider him totally an old timer, but he's definitely a vet. And he's definitely somebody that you can say, yeah, wow, this guy's actually been in the league and he's been somewhat successful. That's our RJ Barrett. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see RJ step up and do some words of wisdom at the end of the Rico runs that they were present at, saying, yeah, look, I'm a guy who's been there. I'm confident. I'm going to go ahead and step up and say it. And nobody looked at him twice and said, what are you doing, RJ? Why are you telling us what to do? You're a young man. You're not that old. You're not that much of a vet. Yeah, but I have 6-7 year NBA career right now. Okay, yeah, we'll listen to you. But yeah, the reason why I'm bringing this Rico run up right now is because the Kings were there. And I saw Nick Clifford and Maxime Renaud and some of the other Kings on the Rico run also running in some of the clips there. So yeah, that's who the Kings are. They're going to be very interesting to watch tonight. Let's go do the Raptors ref report. The ref report for tonight. First of all, we have a WNBA game tonight. It's going to be the finals game number 3. And the referees for Las Vegas at Phoenix Mercury is Fatu Sissoko Stevens. Number 15 is the crew chief. Tiara Cruz is the referee. Number 5. Umpire Amy Bonner, number 31. And the alternate is Jeff Wooten, number 23. Now, the Raptors will play at 10 p.m. Eastern at Sacramento. So, yeah, in the replay center tonight is Jenna Renault and Mitchell Irvin, who's going to be sitting in there watching things from Secaucus. But guess what? We got 2 in a row with Guillermitas Petraeus. He is the crew chief tonight for the Raptors game. He did ref the game in Vancouver against Denver recently. Guillermitas is awesome, man. He's the Lithuanian ref, of course, in his 11th season. We went over the things he likes. He likes Narcos, Coming to America, Swedish House Mafia, Great Gatsby, rest in peace, Robert Redford. You know, he wants to go to Iceland. He's a ballroom dancer, shit like that. You know, I just talked about that. Now, in the 2018-19 season, Petraeus made his playoff debut as an NBA official and refereed the Rising Stars competition at NBA All-Star Weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina. Guillermitas is the best ref for the Raptors again today. We win 59% of our games. That percentage has not changed because the game on Monday did not count and will not be counted. This one won't be tonight. But yeah, we win 59% of our games with Petraeus, and the Kings only win 38% of their games. And in fact, the Kings are the second worst record out of all the 30 teams with the Lithuanian ref. So it's 59 to 38, the split for the Raptors with the crew chief tonight. So he's at least on our side. The other 2 refs are not so nice to the Raptors. Let's just say the ref crew on Monday was nicer for the Raptors, but the team we were playing was tougher. So there's the trade-off. The refs tonight may not be as nice, but it's an exhibition. They may not really care, but they have a proclivity to not be nice, these 2. Brandon Schwab is the second ref. He's a younger ref in his 4th season, number 86 out of Orlando, Florida. He's a replacement ref. He was a bubble ref. They hired him when they had to do the bubble, and he was local. And he came in, and he's stuck on since then. His favorite TV show is I Think You Should Leave. His favorite movie is The Matrix, Keanu Reeves. His favorite book is the 3 Body Problem series. That's new. I don't remember that being his favorite book. That must have been a book he's read in the last year because it's changed. His favorite meal is coffee and a croissant. Now, is that really a meal, Brandon? I may be saying to you, Mr. Schwab, that you may need to eat something more substantial for your meal to get your nutrition right. A croissant and a coffee is great for breakfast, I guess, but not for a meal, bro. I'll be worried about you, man. You want to get strength and nutrition, bro. Come on now. Come on now. He must like to visit Iceland, too. So maybe Brandon and Guillermitas should go on a trip to Iceland as referee buddies. Let's do this. Let's get on a plane and go to Iceland, referees. Let's go. His favorite app is Waking Up. That sounds like a wake-up call app. That's like, yeah, do you sleep too long? Maybe it's because you didn't eat enough food, Brandon. You go sleep too long, so you got to have a wake-up app. Okay, his bucket list is to tour de Mont Blanc. Sounds cool, man. Brandon Schwab has officiated 118 regular season games and 3 seasons as an NBA staff official. He also refereed 20 regular season games as a non-staff official in the 2020-21 NBA season. That's right. So he really did get hired right around the bubble, and he is from Orlando, just so y'all know. Now, Schwab had a good record with us in the beginning, but it has plummeted in the last 2 years, and we are in the red zone with him, which means it's a sub-500 record, and it's not good. We win 44% of our games with Brandon. I believe our record exactly is 7-9. And the Kings, well, they're like one of the best winning teams under Brandon Schwab. He hasn't reffed them a whole lot, but they're 6-1 with him reffing. And he's at 83% win percentage with the Kings. So it's a big, big favor for the Kings under Brandon Schwab. Of course, he's a newer ref, and sometimes those stats aren't fully formed, but it's 44-83 for the Kings with the young ref, Brandon Schwab. Now, the last ref is the opposite of Brandon. He's an old, cantankerous, old-ass ref who's been in this league for a long, long time, and his name is Derek Collins. That's right, number 11, 24th season out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Derek Collins loves the show Martin with Shanae. Yeah, you know the show. That show's awesome, man. His favorite movie is with Denzel Washington and Morgan Freeman, and it is the movie called Glory. That's right. He gets down to some Bob Marley. That's right. I shot the sheriff. That's right. It could be Eric Clapton, but it's more better if it's Bob Marley. That's right. His favorite book is the Bible. All glory to God. All glory to God. Favorite meal is gumbo. He most like to visit Africa. Talk to Masai Ujiri. Seriously, he might get you over there for Giants of Africa. Maybe you could be a referee for the camp, Derek Collins. It might be very rewarding for you, man. You should talk to Ujiri. Seriously. Seriously. His bucket list is to fly an airplane. Maybe you fly the plane there to Africa to go see Ujiri and Giants of Africa, Derek Collins. Then on the way, drop off Giamidis and Brandon in Iceland. Yeah, you go on with that. Yeah. All right. Derek Collins has officiated 1,347 regular season games and 35 playoff games in 23 seasons as an NBA staff official. He also worked the 2024 NBA All-Star game in Indianapolis. Yeah, so this is a vet, man. This is one of those vets. He's a cantankerous man. But in some ways, I've also decided he's in that Tony Brothers. I may be grumpy, but I'm going to be fair. And if you work hard, I'll look out for you kind of category in the NBA. That's right. So Derek Collins is the third ref, and he is the worst ref for the Raptors today. You thought Brandon Schwab was bad. Well, Derek Collins is even worse. We win 43% of our games with Derek Collins over the long 24-year career. Of course, that dips into franchise Raptors back in the day. And the Kings win 48%. So it's not as big a split as Brandon's, but it's still for the Kings. 43-48 is the split for the Kings with the third ref, the veteran, Derek Collins. So, yeah, there's your ref report for today. Yeah, not as good a refs as Monday night, guys. The Monday night ref crew was a good one. This one's going to be a little difficult in some ways. Schwab, still a little inexperienced as a ref, but he's a young upcoming ref, and obviously the NBA likes him because he's stuck on. Derek Collins, just don't get on his bad side. That's all. Don't try and upstage him. Don't do anything where you may make him look kind of weird because he may actually be punitive towards you. So Raptors, respect Derek Collins. Giamidis, thank you. You're awesome. You do what you do, Petratus. We like you. We like you. He's the best one there. All right, let's see what y'all are saying in the chat, and we'll get going more in the chat. And what we're talking about tonight is Sacramento Kings, Toronto Raptors, 10 p.m. Eastern. That's right. Trevor's saying this for his words of wisdom. Make up your mind that no matter what comes your way, no matter how difficult, no matter how unfair, you will do more than simply survive. You will thrive in spite of it. I love this. I love this. Life, I don't know what's ahead. Life, you're unexpected, and you can be full of gifts and blessings, and you can be full of detriments and sadness too. But in some ways, whatever you get down the conveyor belt of life can be whatever you want to perceive it to be. And it could be a bad thing, but you could look at it as a challenge to make you stronger. And this is the right attitude, what Trevor's saying right here. It's like, look, no matter how unfair, no matter how fucked up, no matter how crazy something could be, there's always an angle to it to game it to be better. DeMar DeRozan's a great example of this. Think about DeMar. Did he want to get traded to the Spurs? No, he did not. Then he fell in a hole because of it. But what did he do? Did he stay in that hole? Did he wallow? Did he feel sorry for himself for like years since? No. He got up. He picked himself up. He got up and he spent day to day going through the motions, going through the work mentally with the people that helped him. He went and got help and he did the work and he became stronger for it and thrived for it because now he's got a book right here. This man got a book right here. Above the Noise, a bestseller because of his hardship with the Raptors. So it's like, look, you can wallow and be sad about what happened to you, or you can do what Trevor's saying here and thrive. And that's what I'm saying, y'all. That's what I'm saying. All the glory to God. Thank you for looking out for us, Creator. And thank you for looking out for DeMar DeRozan. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Trevor J, for your words of wisdom also, man. Trevor's saying happy game day. Yeah, let's go. Let's win tonight. Feeling good. Feel good all the time. Yeah, Trevor's saying, you know, he was watching the Blue Jays game last night with the Yankees. And it was at his house. So he said, no TVs are getting destroyed tonight. No. Blue Jays make the Yankees get away. Yeah, it's too bad. In some ways, it doesn't optically look good if the Blue Jays just sweep the Yankees. We be talking so much shit up here in Toronto, and to the MLB and the Yankees, they don't want to get swept for the first time ever playing the Blue Jays. No, so they had to save face and at least get one. At least get one. What is 9-6 last night? Yankees winning Game 3 of the series, and they're going to play again tonight. I believe they're going to go right back into it because it's baseball, and what they don't work that hard. They can play like 2 games in a row on one day. They can definitely play again tonight if they're not traveling. So yeah, we'll have to see if the Jays can finish it tonight. I have no idea. Maybe they're not playing tonight. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're playing tomorrow. I don't know. I didn't check. Either way, I'm not worried. We still have a 2-1 advantage, and we do have home field advantage still. If there is a Game 5 because they don't win, well, it's going to be in Toronto. And we've seen what the Blue Jays do in Rogers Center. So, yeah, it's too bad they couldn't sweep them. I really wanted to bring a broom on the stream today. Yeah, I had one ready. It's over there in the corner. I'm looking at it. I would have brought it right on the show, right at the beginning. Sweep, sweep, sweep. I really wanted to use a broom. That's why I didn't mention it. It's like, oh, man, I want to use a broom tomorrow on the show. I really do. Yeah, Trevor's saying that WNBA is back on tonight, Vegas and Phoenix. Adam Silver chiming in on the WNBA controversy with Kathy Engelbert and Nafisa Collier, saying that they got to fix this. It sounds like Adam Silver is saying that Kathy ain't going nowhere. I think the players and a lot of people would love to see her get canned, and they have a new leadership. But Adam Silver, for some reason, is bonifying her and protecting her and saying, no, everybody needs to fix this and come to the meeting of consensus and stop being against each other. They got to fix this, is what he's saying. I don't know. They don't have to. If they don't have any confidence in the leadership of Kathy, why the fuck do they have to fix this? Seriously. Should you maybe think about a replacement, Adam Silver? I don't know. I'm telling you, this league has changed, and it's in a new era. And Kathy Engelbert may not be the right person to lead this league and to get his full potential of growth for the league and for the pay for the women. So I don't know. Adam Silver is obviously status quo. And in some ways, he's like, I like Kathy as my version of me in that league. She's good at it. And maybe he's trying to protect her. But either way, man, it's not a popular thing, Adam Silver. And you may need to listen to the room. Trevor J saying this, Raptors Rico runs, beautiful. Watching all the young Raptors together with RJ. Every time the team is at this event, it's must-watch TV. Yeah, I was very, very happy and delighted to see the Toronto Raptors return to UCLA and participate in the Rico Hines runs. And this latest clip is glorious, honestly. They all went there. But I do have some questions. Why was Ulrich Shamshay, AJ Lawson, and Jacoby Walters sitting on the sideline that day and not in the game? Because it was noticeable that there were a couple more Raptors that were in the building watching the game. You could see Ulrich walking around in the background on that Rico run with Evo and Mike Batiste. And, just they're sitting on the bleachers. You can very plainly see AJ Lawson sitting out and not in the runs. And they had some weird goofy guy running with the B team that I'd never seen before in my life. And I'm like, that should be AJ out there running with David Roddy, Elijah Martin, Jamison Battle, and the crew. This is a weird thing, man. Grady and Jamison were shooting lights out at UCLA. Man, Jamison Battle was looking good at Rico runs and when he was there. Yeah, and that was a competitive day. There were a lot of teams there. That was a day where there were like 4 courts at Rico runs, meaning like there's the winners court, there's a winner loser, and loser court. And the Raptors dominated there. The main team, which was RJ, Grady, Jamal Shed, Jonathan Mobo, and who was the 5th guy? I think it was Battle on that team with them. Because it was nasty. They were bombing, man. Grady and Jamison were not missing. And they looked really good on those highlights. And RJ did look very strong. And Shetty did look good too. And Jonathan too. Jonathan did a lot of good dunks. He would seem like the guy was dunking the most on that Rico runs clip. So yeah, check it out. It's must-watch YouTube for any Raptors fan. And something like, you got to see the Rico run with the Raptors. Because we haven't been there in a couple years. And, Rico's Philly with Nick now. And in some ways I thought, well, are we ever going to go back there? But Rico hadn't really seen some of our players up close like that at the Rico runs, like Grady and Jamal Shed and Elijah Martin, people like that. And he was impressed. And he had a lot of good things to say about the day the Raptors were there. There's a lot of talent here, is what he was saying. And I loved, once again, that he pointed out Shed, because one of his main points that day was about playing the game right. Playing the game right and kind of like really honoring the game and making it sacred and putting in the work and just being disciplined. And he really made a light of Shed and saying, this guy's got this. I feel it in him. He never coached Shed. Shed wasn't on our team when Rico was on our team. So in some ways, he was just meeting him for the first time. But RJ looked fantastic. RJ looked like a leader. And I love that RJ stepped up confidently and gave some words of wisdom at the end of the practice like Kevon Looney would. So that's fantastic. And so I think Rico was impressed that RJ stepped up and volunteered to say something there too. And that's the thing. Rico's message at that Rico runs was about, you got to be in shape. You've got to be in shape. If you're not in shape, you better fucking get in shape because you're in the NBA. And, well, I think that he's not worried about RJ Barrett being in shape. I think he can see that RJ is very much in shape. Trevor J said, everyone whines and cries. Raptors lose their first preseason game. But remember, last season, Cleveland was the #1 team, but didn't win a single preseason game. Preseason games don't matter. Once again, people freak out about anything and overreact too much. And Raptors fan nation, really, guys, the preseason does not matter. The preseason is for looking at players together, like the starters. The preseason is for analyzing who's going to make your roster. Out of the 21 that are there, there's going to be 3 people cut, and you got to figure that out. You want to give some orientation and a taste of action for Colin Murray Boyles, Chucky Hepburn, and Elijah Martin, some young rookies that need to understand this is the NBA. Hi, Colin. This is Nikola. Welcome. Come step into his office. Yeah, you got to guard him right away. Yeah, we're putting you right on Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP of the NBA. Yeah, welcome the NBA, Colin. This is what preseason is for, is right there. Preseason is for these guys to get on a plane or ride in a bus and go on somewhere in the road and play at a different time zone. This is what preseason is all about. It would be nice to have this. It's a good sign that you're going in the right way. But this is not what's necessary in the preseason, obviously, because the priority wasn't to play your best team at the end of the game against the Nuggets on Monday night and win. No, it's all discovery. It's all orientation. It's all easing back in to the routine that the NBA season is. These are the things that matter here. That's right. These are the things that matter here, Raptors fans. That's right. James saying Scotty's going to score a 30-piece tonight. You know, James, you know what? Listen, I love that James said this because he understands the pattern. This is something Nick Nurse talked about when he was coaching Scott in his first 2 years of his career. He said, Scotty comes out there and he plays bad. I know he's going to come back and have a really good game the next game. Yeah. And this is a pattern. This is very true in the 4 years that Scott's already played in the league. When he has a game like he did on Monday where he only scores 1 point and all the people are talking dumbass shit on social media about him and stuff like that. Yeah, James is exactly right. This is very much probable that Scotty's going to come out very aggressive offensively tonight and kick some major ass. Now, let's think about this. Domatis is not Nikola, but he's a very strong, big bull kind of player too. Very, very bull in the China shop kind of guy going in the lane. Now, in some ways, Sandro, Jonathan, if Jakob is not back, can kind of hold Domatis a little bit better than Nikola. So, Scotty, let's not see you have to guard Sabonis tonight. How about that? Darko, can we make the decision to not play Scotty at center and let the man go to work the way he can offensively tonight around the paint with some turnaround jump shots and just all-around game? Hopefully, he can be hitting his three. And hopefully he's going to get good, nice opportunities running the lanes and transition also. So I agree with James. James has seen the pattern in the past. Scotty has a bad game. Well, he has something to prove the next game. He does come back with a vengeance. And I'll fully predict this, especially since he may be hearing all this stupid-ass noise the last 2 days. He's like, oh, motherfuckers, I'm going to remind you real quick. So, James, you get a dunk for that comment because I think that's very astute of you. And I think you're exactly right. I think that is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be 30 points, but the man's going to go off and he's going to show his offense tonight in a way that people are going to be like, yeah, we need to shut up about Scott. You got that Delano Banton Rexdale 45 bust, James. That's right. 45 dunks from my man, Raptor Freak James, who comes in with the best questions these days, guys. I'm not going to lie. He does. James saying, Lex, do you think Scotty plays better in the guard position or when he's playing power forward? I think he plays better as power forward. And I think that there's still some misguided fans that think that he should be playing guard. No, 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 no. No, because in some ways, Darko's style on defense for the guards is so energy consuming. And in some ways, like I said, we want Scotty to direct his very good energy that's useful in any kind of way to direct it. It's kind of like you could put it through all kinds of different things and get the energy and all kinds of different outcomes on the court, whether it's hold down Nikola, whether it's go get threes and score, whether it's, go and concentrate on rebounds or do this or do that. And in some ways, we don't want Scott's full energy to go into full court pressing in the backcourt. So to me, it's partly defensively. I mean, I don't mind him doing it on the offensive side. Like if he wants to dribble the ball up the court and play on the outside and play around the horn and not post up, sometimes I have no problem with that. I'm just saying, when I look at positions, I look at what they're doing on defense. And Scotty doesn't need to be Mr. 94 feet, full court pressing people, unless he's asked to or wants to on specific times down the court. For the most part, he shouldn't be trapping at half court. He should be setting up down low, getting his weight up against the big man who's coming down to set up down there and protecting the paint. I always go by position, by defense. I don't necessarily, because the NBA is so variable and crazy and versatile at all positions on where you can play your offense that nowadays. You have centers that just can't camp out outside like Cat and don't do anything down low. He's still the center because on defense, he's the center defending. And that's why I say, no, he's better at power forward at any position. He's not better at center. He's best at power forward. That's the best position for Scott to play. And I'm talking from a defensive standpoint. Because if he's playing guard, he's running around way more and expending way more energy that Shed and Elijah should be expending. That's the answer right there. James saying RJ is going to get his buckets. Don't matter who he's playing with. That's right. That's right. He's a real one. He's a hooper. What did Brandon say about RJ that impressed him? He said, I thought that RJ was just a gunner. I had no idea that he actually puts in the fundamental work on his technique and what he's doing in such a deep way. And I can see why he's successful because he uses reps. He's fundamentally doing this the right way to build his game. And that's why it's unconscious. It's not like he's trying and hoping and praying. No, he's done this so many times. He knows exactly how it's going to go because the reps and the work he put in, the time. And that's what Brandon was impressed about RJ, is that he built himself in a bona fide, fundamentally strong player that can score the way he can score. And that's the secret. That's the key. You can't take any shortcuts, and RJ has not. And he knows that because he has DeRozan code, just like DeMar does. That's going to be a fun matchup. You see RJ and DeMar out there. You know, that in some ways there are similarities between the two guys in different ways. And one of them is their passion for the city of Toronto. One of them is that. That's right. That's right. Seymour's here. Good to see the sheriff. Seymour Pape. If no Yak, don't expect much. We need all our weapons to win wars. No, I think we can win without Jakob. I think we can win without Jakob. I think that in some ways, in one way, some ways the winning doesn't really totally matter in this whole thing. Once again, this is discovery. This is preseason. It is meaningless. None of these games will go on a record or travel past the date tonight. So let's not overreact to an exhibition game that doesn't even matter. It won't go in the record books. Whatever happens in this game tonight will not be counted in the ref report statistics. Giamidis' stats won't change. Tomorrow, guys, though, Seymour, we're going to do the Thursday Think Tank as a reaction. So it's going to be a call-in show during the game for the show tomorrow. And we can definitely talk about reacting to the game. And I'd love to get your four quarters tomorrow, reacting to the Sacramento game tonight, whatever your four quarter questions are going to be. So, yeah, tomorrow will be the Thursday Think Tank along with a reaction stream for the game tonight. And I'd love for different Raptor freaks to call in the show and let's get some real talk on what happens tonight. That's right. I'm all about it. That's right. That's right. Keon Clark is the GOAT. Keon Clark is the GOAT. I just hope Keon's out of prison and he's doing all right. I have a Keon Clark jersey here, Seymour. If you ever came to Toronto, I might think about giving it to you, my friend. Would you love to have that number 7 Clark, purple front blackback jersey? because I have one of those. I bought it back then, man. If you make your way here, this is the deal, Seymour. If you come to Toronto and I get to meet you in person, I will hand you that Keon Clark jersey. How about that? That's a special Raptor Freak offer, only specially for my man Seymour Pape, because he's saying that he thinks Keon Clark is the GOAT. Well, you can get that GOAT's jersey. I have it here if you want it. That's right. That's my only jersey from that era that isn't signed. I'm like, how the hell am I getting Keon Clark to sign this? It's not like he's coming back to Toronto. I don't even know if he can come in the country. He's a felon. Yeah, I don't think he can come back to Toronto. So I don't think we're going to be seeing Keon Clark on a anniversary season where we're celebrating alumni. I don't think he's allowed to come to Canada. He's a felon. He's a felon. That's right. Yeah. So, yeah. Bam, son. Alan Tam. Bam, son. Bam, son. Bam. Where's Milbester? If Milbester shows up this morning, man, what the fuck, Milbester? He might. We'll have to see. Blue Jays tonight, game 4. Let's go, Alan Tam. Bam, son. Let's say bam, son. Vladdy Guerrero. Bam. Bam. That's right, Alan Tam. Bam. Oh, Canada. That's right, Alan Tam. Bam, son. And on that note, it's time to switch the hat. Once again, like Mr. Rogers comes in the house and switches his shoes and his sweater. Well, Lex has come to sit down in the house and put on the Blue Jays hat because it is Blue Jays playoffs, and we are rooting for the Blue Jays. I did not watch the game last night, but I did check on the score, and I didn't like what I saw. I was like, damn, they're not winning. I really wanted them to be winning. But Alan Tam, bam, son, we got to bam those home runs out of Yankee Stadium tonight. That's right. Nako is here. Gerald, good morning to you. I love DeMar. We're better than the Kings. Fuck Drake. There you go. He's got all of his shit in a row. This is right. This is all right. 3 hits right there. Boom, boom, boom. You know, Joe, you get a dunk for this. He says he loves DeMar. That's perfect. Let's tell him. Hello, DeMar. Welcome. We love you. We're going to play you tonight in Sacramento. Is your daughter coming to the game? That's what we're asking. Oh, she's coming? Yeah? Uh-oh. We're better than the Kings. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. We got to eye test. We got to see how we gauge against their talent. We got to see where we're at. Some people have said we're the Kings of the East. Oh, my gosh. We're the Kings of the East. Well, we better see if we're the Kings of the East and beat the Kings of the West. That's right. I want to be the Kings of the East, meaning we're on the top of the Eastern Conference because we're one of the best Eastern Conference teams this year. So go ahead, call us the Kings of the East because we don't look at it as the team. We're talking about we're going to be Kings of the East. That's right. And fuck Drake. Exactly. Fuck Drake. Aubrey, you ain't got nothing to say on this. That's why you're not back on the broadcast. Come on now. Seymour saying Shanghai Sharks are blowing up Thomas Bryant's phone right now after that horrendous cut outing, losing to the Bulls. What? Oh, Thomas Bryant? What? No, he was on the Pacers, right? He played for the Pacers in the playoffs and stuff like that. Why? What did he do? I don't know this story. I don't know what he did. What with the phone? Shanghai Sharks? What? This is all something I don't know about. G saying, well, wishes to DeLon Wright. He got knocked out accidentally on a reckless steal. Oh, geez. So one of our Raptors draft picks, DeLon Wright, who's playing for the Pacers right now, got knocked out while somebody's trying to steal the ball from him. That's horrible. I've not seen that footage. Wow. That was in a preseason game. Man, this is crazy. Preseason games are going all out. I mean, that was the way it was with the Denver game on Monday in Vancouver. It seems like people are playing harder this year already. Crazy. Shaq Lindsay saying, where is Ulrich? He's with the team. He's there. It's just that he has a hand injury. That's a slight injury. It's not a big deal. It's not the injury that kept him out last year. It's not his leg. It's not a hyperextended tendon in his knee. Nothing like that. No, it's his hand. It's a nagging hand injury of some sort. It could very well be Shamshay dunked the ball and hit his hand and it's bruised, and a little bit like Scotty's hand injury last year or something like that. I don't know. They're saying it's a minor injury and it's nothing serious, but you know, Shamshay did not participate in training camp in Calgary at all last week. He didn't do anything in Calgary. He was just there hanging out with everybody, but not actually participating. So I don't know exactly what's going on with Shamshay, but who knows? He could be suited up and playing tonight. It's day to day, and it's not, from what I'm hearing, everything from the press and the team is that it's not a serious hand injury, but it is his hand. That's right. Seymour saying Cavs Nation is crashing out after losing to Chicago. Man, this is preseason, everybody. Come on. What's wrong with people? Seriously, this preseason. Y'all gonna get all upset, Cavs Nation? Well, you're gonna have a nightmare season then. You know, maybe Cavaliers fans got all woo, we're so badass because they had the best regular season's record in the Eastern Conference last year, and they were feeling real high. Well, you have only one way to go, and that's down, Cleveland. Seriously, y'all had a dream season last year. You wasted it in the playoffs, but it don't matter because in some ways you guys are more likely to have less wins this year in the regular season and maybe do better in the playoffs though. Is that the trade-off you want, Cavs fans? You know, you can get all snobby and ooh, we're so good. Our shit don't smell. We have 4 really good starters. The baby dicks and the baby D's, I call them the baby D's and big old Allen and Mobley. And oh, we feel so good about our team. We lost to the Bulls in preseason. Oh no, panic attack, overreaction. Oh my gosh, woohoo, no. Yeah, Cavs, if you're gonna be like this all year, y'all are gonna be feeling this a lot because you're not gonna be as good as last year, and you're gonna be kind of like in your feelings because, like, damn, we were better last year. Why are we not as good this year? What's wrong? Why did we take a step back? I don't know. Ty Jerome, maybe Karis LeVert. I don't know. Maybe these people you'll miss them. That they're gone, and you upgraded with Lonzo Ball. What the fuck is that? What has Lonzo Ball done to help a team win? Seriously, maybe the Bulls need to beat your ass because Lonzo Ball's sitting over on your bench or playing for y'all now, and the Bulls are like, "Fuck you, Lonzo, for wasting our fucking time for a couple years with your bullshit, not being able to walk." Nah, fuck the Cavs. We're getting them. Let's go, Matas Bazelis. Let's go, Josh Giddey. I mean, that may be what it is right there. The Bulls wanted some revenge for Lonzo Ball stealing money for them for a couple years. That's it right there. Maybe, I don't know. Nako's saying I'd be crashing out with the loss to Chicago. You know, in some ways, Chicago is the Kings of the East, but partly because the Bulls are on the Kings, you know, and there's a little bit of trade back and forth there. No, I think that those two teams are very similar, but this is the thing. Don't disrespect Chicago or Sacramento. They have players that are very tough and competitors, and they may not be an overall very talented teams, both of them, but they are dangerous. And that's what Cleveland probably found out about the Bulls last night. It's preseason. Don't read into all this so deeply. That's what we'll say also. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying his injuries are hurting his development. You know, we could say that, but it's not true. It's not true. He catches up. And the crazy thing is, much like Jacoby last year, remember, Jacoby was a rookie last year, right? And he hurt his shoulder before training camp. He didn't even get a training camp because he messed up his shoulder so fast. And Jacoby Walter, well, what they do when these guys are hurt and they can't participate is they still are training their minds, their brains. They're going in and they're learning. They're not saying, hey, you're not able to physically play. You can't do jack shit. You just got to hang around. No, that's not what they're doing. So this whole entire time, Shamshe, after he got hurt on 905 halfway through the season, they were working with him the whole time. And I was worried about what you're saying, Shaq Lindsay. And thank you for the support of this channel. But at Summer League, when we saw Shamshe, when he came out and played for the Raptors at Summer League, it looked like he had not lost a beat on his development. And he's exactly where I thought he should be at this point in the summer, even though he just missed half of the last season, his rookie season. So remember, Walter, Shamshe, both those guys have been hurt in the last year. And they've progressed and learning stuff on the down low and doing things and drills and strength training behind the scenes in ways that they could, even though they were injured. Because that's the thing. Shamshe ain't wasting his time. He's really, really a lot smarter than people understand. Like he's thinking about things on a very deep level in a basketball way. And in some ways, having people like Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes around him is great because those are basketball nerds. And in some ways, they need to be basketball nerds around the farmer's prince, Arish Shamshe, to keep him in the philosophical ideas of basketball and this and this. And hey, throw in some Serge Ibaka with him at OVO Center too. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, don't worry about this. In some ways, Shamshe is present. He's there. He's soaking it up. He's in constant communication with the coaches, and they are working with his progress on the down low, even if he's not participating physically. And the thing is, I was worried about this very much. But when I saw him at Summer League, and I saw that in some ways he's exactly where he's supposed to be after 1 year in the NBA, I was like, okay, Okay. But you're right. We don't want a pattern of him sitting out and not being available so much, But I think in some ways it's a really small, not a big deal kind of injury. And he's going to show up in preseason. We'll see him. We're going to see him in preseason. We will. Let's see. Seymour saying, I told you Malik is starting. He argued his point out and got Mike Brown moved. Okay, so that's part of what happened is that Malik Monk wanted to start. Mike Brown wasn't going to do it, so they had to get rid of Mike Brown, and they kept Malik Monk. That's interesting. Well, I guess he had that label. You're a bench guy. You're a six man. Well, he busted that label. Sometimes you can get pigeonholed into that. Just is like people put that on you, and you're just like, yeah, you're just a six man. No, he's busted through. Well, congratulations to him. I still think he's in competition for Dennis Schroeder for that starting role. I mean, if I was the Kings, I'd keep Monk off the bench because he's very strong in that role, obviously, and I'd start Schroeder. That's what I would do if I was the coach of the Kings, but I'm not. And we'll just see. Maybe they're going to start Malik Monk and Dennis Schroeder will come off the bench. But personally, I'd be starting the FIBA MVP and keep the six man of the year as a six man because those roles seem like they're the right ones. That's right. Seymour saying DeMar and Sabonis sided with Malik. Fuck the Kings. I don't know if they sided with anybody. I don't know if they get that choice. I think that's the coach that chooses that. Who's even their coach right now? I don't even know who the coach of the Kings is. Who's their coach? Like, why am I blanking on who they're? Oh, it's Doug Christie. That's right. It's our former Raptor, Doug Christie, guys. Raptors alumni, Doug Christie, who you notice has never, ever really done much Raptors alumni stuff with us. He's full Kings. I mean, he's been that coaching staff the whole time. I mean, it makes sense. He can't really come and say, I love the Raptors. I don't think he does, though. I don't think he does. I think that he's one of these people on the down low that kind of looks down on the Raptors, even though he was on the Raptors. Yeah, I don't know. I don't totally trust Doug Christie with his Raptors alumni card. Let's just put it that way. So let's just beat his ass just in case. How about that? Let's do that, Raptors. Let's just beat the Kings' ass because I'm dubious on Doug Christie's Raptors alumni card. That's right. What are you with the Raptors? Are you a loyal and loving to the Toronto Raptors? I mean, you don't have to be priority Raptors. You can be priority Kings, but we want to know somewhere on your pecking order. Oh, you like the Knicks more than the Raptors? Your Knicks career is more important than the Raptors part of the career? Oh, well, then we might have a problem. I can understand you being Kings first, Doug Christie, but where are your allegiances after that? I have questions. I've never seen you probably really embrace your Raptors history since and anything since. I mean, I want people to be like, yeah, I was a Raptor and I'm proud of it. I was a Raptor and I'm proud of it. Doug Christie, you had a prominent role on our team. You were very much one of the league leaders in steals when you played on our team. And you did play with Vince, and you did get to play in some very interesting times for the Raptors. And we appreciate you because you were one of our best players when you were on our team also. So do you appreciate us? That's what I'm wondering. That's right. Fuck the Kings. Okay, Seymour. Fuck the Kings. No Kings Day. That's right. October the 18th. Get in the streets, America. No Kings. No fucking Kings, Donald Trump. You bitch ass piece of shit. That's right. No Kings. That's right. Fiercely saying good morning, fam, and happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to MJ. Always good to see the eye candy in the chat. I hope you are doing very, very well, resting very well, and feeling very loved and comfortable. That's what I want for MJ this morning on a Wednesday. That's right. Seymour saying respected DeMar and Doug. I like Doug Christie. Like I said, he was one of the best steals person in his era of the NBA, and he did things to help us win when he was on our team. It was very hard for us to win. And Doug Christie was a formula to help us get the wins when he was playing on the Raptors in the first 5 years of our existence. So, yeah, I mean, in some ways, hey, the Raptors, their coach of the Kings is an old Raptor. And we got to understand that. Shaq Lindsay saying, I would like to see Sandro in the starting lineup. Yes. I think that if Sandro had not been playing his first game for the Raptors, he would have started in the place of Jakob on Monday. I think that could have possibly happened. But we'll just have to see how it all goes down. Darko, everything's in flux. Darko's going to be figuring out starting lineups and rotations and minutes and shots and everything like that on different things. And effort is a big one. And if you're giving the effort and you're out there and he knows he can count on you, he's going to get you on the court. So that's the thing, Raptors. There's a lot of competition this year. And if you want to get a leg up to get there, you better be doing things right. And especially on the defensive end. Seymour Pape is saying hi to the eye candy. That's right. Shaq Lindsay's saying, don't sleep on the Kings. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to just say this is a bad team because I don't think it is completely. I think that there's a lot of experience and there's some very, very strong honor and like dignity. And these people want respect. DeMar DeRozan, Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, Domantas Sabonis. And in some ways, you can't take an opponent lightly like that because in some ways they're like us. They're getting misjudged and maybe like maligned and not really a fair perspective from the media. They may have a chip on their shoulder just like us. And they may be coming in to prove people wrong this year, critics and people like that. So that's a dangerous team, especially when you have veteran players like DeMar and Dennis on it that know how to do things to win. So yeah, we can't take them lightly. And in some ways, if you're a Raptors fan, you're like, oh, it's the Kings. We'll beat them for sure. Well, they did beat us in Summer League with their Summer League team, the only team that did beat us in Summer League. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what's going on here. Seymour saying, good chess move at Shaq. Yes, please. That's right. Don't sleep on the Kings. That's right. Yeah, the queen is the most powerful piece in chess, right? But the king is the one that decides the game, whether you win or not. So yeah. If we need to, we'll get the rook down there and we'll do the little transfer, like switch it, the king. Talk about chess gambits and shit like that. What the fuck is this channel, man? These guys jumping from chess to this to that. What is this, man? What is this? Shaq Lindsay saying, thank you, Seymour. And G saying, I just feel RJ is going to take a huge step this year. There's something about his swag and humble confidence. Oh, so you noticed the other day we had do-rag RJ coming in the game the other night. Yeah, it's not like do-rag Vince McMahon, which is a really unfortunate era of the WWE when Vince McMahon was ECW champion. It was so stupid, man. But when you see RJ in a do-rag, well, that could mean something. Seriously, there's a different level. I took it as this: when RJ came into the game on Vancouver, wearing a do-rag in the entry picture, I was like, he's in full season mode already, and I was right. That's what I was saying. I was like, damn, it's RJ do-rag. Look out, look out! The Nuggets are in trouble. And well, he did play like he was already in mid-season form against the Nuggets. He was one of the few Raptors that was dialed in and playing very steady, regular kind of RJ Barrett kind of basketball in that game on Monday night. And maybe you chalk it up to do-rag RJ. Yeah, this may become a thing, y'all. There were appearances of do-rag RJ in the past 2 years since he's been on the Raptors. Just pay attention. You might see him. You might see him. That's right. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, Rico runs. Grady looked nice. What happened? Yeah, Grady was dialed in at those ones. I mean, I'm so like, man, you got to trust your instincts, Lex. You saw Grady sticking his head in the Bruins' mouth at UCLA campus, and you're like, man, I think the Raptors went to Rico runs. And remember, I said that day. So when that day was that I said, oh, I think the Raptors went to Rico runs, that's when they went, and they did go. And it wasn't just 2 or 3 of them, like 10 of them went. So we had a full invasion of the Raptors being at Rico runs. And that clip, once again, I'm saying it, y'all, it's a must-watch thing. Grady does look good in it. Grady looks real good in it. Now, some people in the comments are trying to say, oh, Grady was the guy who got scored on the most. Man, the Rico runs are so weird, man. You can't go by that. Some people are already trying to indict Grady as a really bad defender in different ways already this season. Now, look, Grady had a clumsy game on Monday. That's what you call it. It's a clumsy game. A game where he charged into people and got offensive fouls. A game where he got in foul trouble and he didn't make any of his threes. That's a clumsy game. But once again, this is the first day back at school. Let that man get his pencil sharpened, and we'll see what Dick does later. How about that? Maybe phrasing was wrong there. But either way, listen, let Dick get started. He's just getting started. And once he gets going, woo-wee, look out. Look out. Let him get going. That's right. That's right. He's a shooter. So he has to get his rhythm, and he has to get all his stuff back. And you saw Jameson was just as bad. So come on now, y'all. Come on now. Fiercely saying Rico Hines runs was nice to watch. Was shocked to hear Rico telling the guys the need to be in shape. The amount of running and intensity was crazy to me. So imagine he tells them to step up. You know, I don't think he's talking to the Raptors when he said that. I think that there were other teams that were there in that footage that weren't necessarily working as hard as they should. You know, he may not have even been talking to the NBA guys. He may have been talking to the UCLA guys. Because in that clip, when the Raptors were there, there was a whole squad from UCLA too that was there. So it's a mix of the people that are there. And he may be, some of the advice he's giving may be to guys who are trying to make the NBA. And he's like, these guys, yeah, you see how much they're in shape. So that was part of it, Fiercey, is that some college guys are there with them too, just so you know. Fiercey saying even Alex Sarr looked decent at the Rico runs. Why didn't he play like that last game? You mean Olivier Sarr? Yeah, Olivier Sarr did look pretty good in the Rico runs for the Raptors. He hit a three. There was a couple of things he did. He's going to look good sometimes. He's got the size for an NBA player, but in some ways he may not have the refined skills. And he is the older Sarr brother. So yeah, but it's Olivier. Alex is the one who plays for Washington, and he's good. That's right. You fixed it. Oops, Olivier. Yeah. Wayne saying, morning, Raptor Freaks. We were at Rico Runs, but that's really good to see. Got to beef up your intelligence department, Lexicon Raptor Freak. What do you mean beef up my intelligence department? I called it when they were there the day they went. Wayne, what are you talking about? Intelligence was on this. I said it. I said, I think the Raptors went to Rico Runs a month ago when we saw the evidence on their Instagram stories. So if anything, I was ahead of everybody in knowing that they went because I mentioned it the day they went. So no, it's not even on the intelligence. They keep this shit under wraps because Rico wants to release these and have like surprise guests, like, oh, James Harden showed up for Rico Runs and stuff like that. I mean, they're not broadcasting everybody who's coming through, and there's so many teams coming through: Charlotte, Portland, Houston, Philly. They're all there. Sacramento. There's so many teams at Rico Runs that I don't know. I feel like I was on this more than most people because, like I said, when I saw Grady Dick on Instagram stories with his head and the UCLA Bears, and I knew he was at UCLA, I was like, well, he's at UCLA. He's at Rico Runs because this is the time of the year. They're doing it right now. Why the hell would they be at UCLA any other reason than Rico Runs? So I called it that day, the day that they were there. And Shed was making fun. Remember, Shed was saying, oh, Grady's so funny, man. Did you see him put his head in the Bear's mouth at UCLA? And I was like, man, they went to Rico Runs. So I called this like a month ago when they went and they filmed this. So I don't know what you're saying, Wayne. Sergeant at Arms. Come on, man. Adjudicate. Did I find it? I figured it out. I put 1+1. I Winders this shit before. And I'm just like, wow, I was right. They were at Rico Runs. That's what I found out yesterday. Trevor's saying truth is only visible to those whom are able to question everything they have been taught to believe. This is a really interesting thing in today's society. I want everybody to understand that they condition everybody. They condition you on the sex roles of different genders. They condition you on outlooks on the world. They condition you on the whole system of money and the way that the world works. This is all conditioning. There's a very natural state that human beings can be in that's more like a tree or a squirrel or an insect, a butterfly or something like that. That's more natural. Sure, we have reasoning, we have thought, we have cognitive things. We can do a lot as an organism on this planet, more than other things. But the thing that we are is very natural and organic, just like everything else in this world. The way we got off base was going more into a man-made world of our own that we made in our own ego, and it's destructive towards the natural world. And this is a big problem. In some ways, we have to question everything we've been taught since we were a child and wonder about what is actually helping us in society and what isn't. This is a really interesting crossroads in the ages of time and history. And in some ways, I'm talking about this on a level that more people should be talking about this, because this is a blank slate to a degree. We have the ability to make the world of tomorrow. And in some ways, do you want fucked up, crazy ass racists like the MAGA to make the world of tomorrow? No, you don't. So everybody needs to figure out what kind of world they want to shape. And it may even be on your micro level, just around you. You may have that much power in the very near future, guys. So let's really, really brainstorm and think about what kind of world do you want to see in the next 100 years? What kind of world do you want to leave to your offspring? Because it's all up in the air right now. And in some ways, evil, bad, fucked up people that will subjugate us to a lot of bad shit want to shape the future. So it's up to us to fight, to resist, and to make a future that we want. And we have to visualize it and create it. And we cannot accept the future that the oligarchs, the billionaires, and the people that are trying to force power right now over all of us as being the world that we get. We have to resist. We have to fight this. And we need to have an idea of the world we want to create besides it all. And this is the thing. Don't create a new world based on the old conditioning. There's going to be a lot of things that change. In some ways, old dogma and old belief systems may need to change and be altered slightly. Sure, we can all have a belief in Christ and belief, and that's great. But as long as it's a pure belief that isn't one that is being used to subjugate other people for your own gain. So we've got to figure out this new world, guys. It's a blank slate. It's up to us. And we have way more power than we understand right now. And we need to start shaping it, because if we don't, some fucking crazy ass psycho pieces of shit are going to shape the world for us and against us in ways we do not want. So understand, this is the assignment right now. This is the most important assignment ever in the existence of time. Right now, we live at one of the weirdest fucked up times ever right now. And if we don't do something, our children, our grandchildren will be so pissed off at us for not changing things for their lives in the future. So don't think about yourself. In some ways, we're fucked, because there's going to be a really ugly, dark time coming very soon. And we're going to have to get dirty to get this done right. But realize the end game is we're doing this for them, for the people that come after us. Because if we don't do it, they're going to be only knowing what that world that they want to shape for us is. And we'd rather shape the world. Why did we live this whole life and get this to retirement, or do this in your career, or have this life in your family, in your house, just to get to the point where Donald Trump and MAGA and right-wing politicians are going to make a dystopian world where they're going to prison people and subjugate people to Nazi kind of bullshit? No. That's why we have to resist. And that's why we have to have an idea of a world we want to create. And it could be a very equalized world. It could be a very, very benevolent and humanitarian world. We can get that world. It's just that we need to take the power back, Zach De La Rocca. Because if we don't, everybody's coming after us is fucked. We have to do it now when we can, because they may not be able to do it in 50 years because this shit is too ensconced. So believe me, no more Kings. No more Sacramento Kings tonight. Sorry, DeMar. And no more Kings in government in the United States. So fight for your life, because it is your life. It's not even just your life. It's your future family's life. It's serious shit. So don't fuck around with it. And if you're on the sideline saying, I don't give a shit, they're both bad, I don't care, your ancestors are going to care. And if you fucking don't pick a side right now, you want to go pick the racist ass ICE side because I'm a coward and I don't want to be, I'm scared of MAGA if they don't hurt me. No, fuck MAGA. You fucking go kowtow to them. You're fucking part of the problem. So you need to take a side. There ain't no I'm a political bullshit today. You're either for justice and humanity and equality, or you're for racism and fucking subjugation and fucking dystopia. So make your decision and make it clear. And you have more power than you give yourself credit for. So go find it out there in resistance. That's right. That's right. Boom goes the dynamite. I'm very happy to see the city of Chicago trying to hold off ICE as best as they can. But still, horrible, bad shit is happening there because they got fucking untrained, crazy-ass white supremacists and people that do not know how to do law enforcement fucking terrorizing people right now in the United States. That is not America. That is not freedom. That is not America, and that is not freedom, and that is not democracy. That's right. That's right. Sorry, I just had to say this because he had a very touchstone kind of comment right here. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, I was certainly impressed with Battle at the Rico runs. Maybe Battle needs to get more run in the second lineup. I think that these guys, maybe they just had first day jitters. I think that they were just off. I mean, our classic three-point shooters just did not hit on Monday. But it's just one game, guys. If they come out tonight and they're all bombing and making every shot that they shoot, we'll be all like, oh, it's just the basketball. It's just a game off, a game on, and that kind of stuff. I think that, you know, in some ways we can micro analyze every little thing every Raptor does, which we do to an extent on this channel. But in some ways, it's not worth it right now. We need to see a longer stretch of games and a body of work before we actually analyze what's going on with Grady Dick or Jamison Battle. You know, in some ways like that. That's right. Seymour's saying the GOAT, Wayne the GROAT. That's right, Wayne. That's right. Fiercely saying, well, Seymour, Thomas Bryant isn't that good. He kind of helped the Pacers on one playoff game, but that was it. As a Laker and Heat, not impactful at all. Man, I don't want to diss Thomas. I think he's a hardworking guy. He's a good dude. I mean, I've seen him on Rico runs, and he was there a lot in the last couple of years. And he just seems like he's a good, hardworking pro. He's been very lucky. He won a championship with the Nuggets. And I believe he was on that championship Nuggets team. He has won a championship, but get into the finals this year with the Pacers. I would say this: Thomas Bryant helps people win because he's actually been on a lot of teams that have been doing well in the playoffs in his career. And I don't like this. I don't know why you guys are slagging on Thomas, because honestly, he's a good dude. And I have no reason to like him other than I've seen him on Rico runs be a good dude. And Rico say stuff about him that was glowing. And I don't get it. I mean, I know you guys were saying this during the finals, that like Thomas Bryant totally screwed up, but I didn't see what you were talking about. I saw a guy who came in as a backup for the Pacers and Rick Carlisle, and he was useful at times. He's not a superstar. He's a role player, and he's useful in some ways. Some people say, oh, he's a waste and stuff like that. But what do you expect him to do? He's the backup, and he's just supposed to be out there running the court, maybe making some threes and trying to hold some defensive position against one of the bigs on the other side. I mean, that's the assignment for him. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And a wizard, none impactful. I don't agree with this. I think you guys are off on Thomas Bryant. I think that he's been a serviceable big man backup for the teams he's been on, and that's why he's still in the NBA. If he wasn't good, he wouldn't be in the NBA, guys. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, you forgot he went there. He's been around winning a lot too in his career. I mean, he was very good for Miami when he played for the Heat, guys. I think he was very good for Miami. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to Kaz. Kaz, I went to the post office yesterday and I tried to mail your trophy, but they wouldn't take it because of the strike. So I'm going to do this, Kaz. I'm going to hold off mailing it to you. You're going to get it on a delay because I'm not going to send it until the strike's over. So we'll just have to see how things work out with Canada Post, and then I'll send it to you. I'm not upset about this, and I don't want you to be either. This thing will come to you at some point. It's just a whole thing about time, Salvador Dali. It's just time. A time will come, and it will come to you. And then some ways we got to work out this strike issue with Canada Post. I was talking to a lady who works at the post office. She's very nice, and she explained to me what's going on. Basically, they tried to put a CEO of a perlator in charge of Canada Post, and they're privatizing our Canada Post on the down low, and it's really hurting the whole thing. And they're not being open about how they're spending the budget, and they're making things like Canada Post has to be run like a business and make profit, which is totally fucked up. Because as soon as you say Canada Post is not making money and and you call it a business, you're fucked right there. You're an absolute piece of shit right there. Because first of all, the mailman and post office is supposed to be a government service, and it was never meant to be a business to profit off of. So motherfuckers who are mad about the Canada Post not delivering your thing, this is what the truth is. That some people want to privatize the post office and gouge us for paying for more for sending packages when it should be a government service that is not involved in business at all. It doesn't matter if it makes money or not. It's supposed to be paid for by our tax dollars. And instead of our tax dollars going to a private company who doesn't necessarily use our tax dollars on the services, but paying their CEO and other motherfuckers, that's what I tell you. That's the damn truth about Canada Post. So these workers need to strike, and they need to hold their line. And I support unions, and I support workers in any conflict against whatever they're against. The union is never wrong. The union is never wrong. And if you're anti-union, fuck you. Unions are always fighting on the right side of things. So stand with your union brothers and sisters. I stand with Canada Post union strikers. That's where I do. Yeah. Sorry, Kaz. When the strike is over, I'll send you your WNBA fantasy trophy. Sorry, my guy. Shaq Lindsay is saying this now. Let's see what he's saying here. Jumped ahead. Let me get it. Battle's game would flourish playing with RJ or Scotty. I'm starting to like Battle over Dick because he keeps it simple on offense, whereas Dick sometimes passes up open shots to make more difficult shot or drive the basket. This is an interesting comparison. The one area I will say Jamison has made better strides is with his body. Jamison was a rookie last year, and Grady was a second-year player last year, and Jamison has lapped him on making his body more NBA ready. And in some ways, that does make him better to put him out there instead of Grady. If we're worried about Grady being a defensive liability, Jamison may not be as much of a defensive liability. And you could make a case that Battle is a better player to play over Grady, especially if Grady's not going to be shooting a higher percentage than him from three. So it's an interesting point by Shaq Lindsay. And I think it's really that Battle has made more gains on defense in the last year. And well, Dick, you might need to catch up in some ways. Look, I know you're bigger than you were last year. Yeah, there's bad jokes there. But listen, you may need to get even stronger faster. And I don't know, man, don't roid up or anything like that. I mean, yeah. Randolph saying this, blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks family. When you stay on and follow the path laid out for you, every challenge you face you are equipped for. I love this. I love this. I love this. Blessings of Phyllis family, all the Raptor Freak families. Yeah, I mean, listen, we don't know what's coming up, and be vigilant, be ready. And in some ways, you may be shocked at your skills in the moment for problem solving and doing the right thing in the moment when you have to make a decision fast. So believe in yourself and give yourself credit, or give yourself a leash to make mistakes too. So I love this. Believe in yourself. Believe in the Lord above, the Creator, in Jesus Christ, and God, and whatever you believe. Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, Mother Nature. You believe in God. You believe in whatever you believe, from Islam or Judaism, whatever you believe, Hindu. Your Creator is looking out for you, and will have the gifts and skills for you in the moment when things happen. Just so you know, that's what you got to do. Blessings to Phillips family, of course. And thank you, Randolph and Trevor, and a lot of y'all for your influence on me. You guys really have made me more of a believer, and I appreciate you guys for that. I really do. Not going to say fingers crossed for a shed jump. A shed jump. I think that he's already showing the signs that he's going to be more a steady sheddy. And it's, that the stuff like that with Fred, like with Fred's steady Freddy, we need steady sheddy. And steady Shetty means consistently giving us that energy and leadership every single game. Now, the other way that things could be good is that he's making his three consistently. But yeah, I think that Shed's going to be a better player this year than last year. And it's really just because he has more experience and time on NBA courts. And he's also built up his body and strength and balance in the offseason. So yeah, Shed already looked good on Monday. And I just expect that trend to continue. I do. That's right. So Seymour saying Torrey Craig signs with Celtics. Okay. In some ways, that's not a needle pusher, but hey, okay. I think that there's a few teams that still have some open roster spots. Seymour saying James Wiseman battles Huff and Isaiah Jackson for the starting 5 spot in Indianapolis. Yeah, Wiseman is circled back to the Pacers once again. What is going on here? Didn't he get traded to us? And we cut him or something like that. I think he was part of that trade or something like that. So they're going to go ahead and do it once again. I mean, James Wiseman in some ways is washed. He's already kind of been kicked out of the league, and they're just bringing him to training camp to give him a chance again. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut. He's not on the roster for the Pacers for the season. I'm telling you right now, it's really tough once you get to that side of things. I think Huff and Jackson are more likely to be around. That's right. Nako's saying put Colin on Sabonis. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think that's very likely that we'll see that tonight. Maybe Jonathan can play him more, and Scotty doesn't have to play the center tonight, even if Yock's not playing. It'd be ideal if Yock's playing. He could just guard DeMattis. But if he's not available, maybe Jonathan should be guarding him and not Scotty tonight. In some ways, there's differences between Sabonis and Jokic. Jokic really is everything for the Nuggets as far as the center of everything. And in some ways, DeMattis is a side player that in some ways maybe we could get away with having J-Mo just try and body up with him. Sandro, another good option. That's right. Fiercely saying Sabonis should have PTSD when matching up against Scotty. Laugh out loud. Scotty's his daddy. I mean, I kind of vaguely remember. I don't think that there's been enough history there for me to say this. I kind of remember a play where Scott got the best of DeMattis, but I don't feel like that's such a dominant matchup where Scotty just dominates DeMattis. I don't think that's not an accurate thing to say. But I think that, I remember Scotty pulling some moves on him and making him look bad at some point. But I don't know. This seems like a stretch right here. We know Scotty's a daddy, though. Fiercely saying, fam, if any of you rewatching the Rico Hines runs, can someone tell me who that tall dude wearing Raptors shorts is? It's not Sar, and I had no idea who it was. The tall dude. What? Describe him better. You can't just say tall dude in Raptors shorts. I mean, all right, the guys who were on the court for the first team were like RJ, Jameson, Grady, Jonathan, and Shed. That was the A team for the Raptors that were there. And then the second team was Chucky, Elijah, David Roddy. David Roddy was the guy with the beard, and the stout guy that wore the black top. That may be who you're asking about. Was it Roddy? And then Olivier Sarr, and then some weird guy wearing pink shoes that was running on the Raptors team, who was not a Raptor, who had nothing to do with us. He was just a fill-in there. And then on the bench, AJ Lawson, Al Rashamshe sitting on the bench, and then possibly Jacoby was sitting there also. But those are the Raptors I saw in that whole clip. And if it's David Roddy you're asking about, he's the one with the beard, the dark hair, and he's kind of stout. That's David Roddy. That may be who you're talking about. Let's see. Where am I? Trevor's saying this season, Atlanta Hawks, very big team, 6'10", 6'9", lots of length. Yeah, who cares? We're going to beat their ass opening night. That's right. Shaq Lindsay saying, I agree that preseason doesn't matter, but you want to see growth from some of these players, i.e. Dick. Okay, phrasing. What I saw last night from Dick was the opposite. I want Dick to succeed, but as position yeah. The thing is, let's not overreact. Once again, this is a small sample size. This is one game, and Grady just had a stinker. And seriously, man, we could see something totally different from Scotty, from Grady, from a lot of the different players. We may see some of the players who had a good game on Monday have a bad game tonight. This is the NBA. It's basketball. We got to be ready for this. Grady had a disappointing game. Let's let him off the hook. It's just one game. That was on Monday. He has a new slate, and he can try and do something tonight. That's right. I'm not worried about this yet. There's not enough of a trend or enough evidence or sample size to be worried about this yet. You give me maybe like if this is something that's going on at the end of the preseason, the whole entire preseason, Grady does not look good at the whole time, then maybe we'll talk about it. But not right now. All sharpshooters go through slumps. And I don't even think this is a slump. I think this is Grady just showing up and trying to get his rhythm back in the NBA competition. Because as much as like training camp and runs, Rico runs, and all the different things they did this summer is nothing like what they did on Monday night in Vancouver against the Nuggets. And that really is like we're in the driveway. It's a cold winter day, and we're starting the engine up. Let's warm it up. Let's warm it up before we start driving. And that's part of it. Like a lot of these guys, like I said, RJ obviously warmed up his car in the driveway earlier, and he was very warmed up for the game on Monday. But some of these other guys were not. And that's the thing. We got to let them warm up to the season. They got to get into it. That's right. Olden State Warriors. You want to dunk? You got it. You got it. Olden State Warriors is exactly right. They old. That's right. They very old. Al Horford. 198 for Seymour. He's almost to 200. Almost to 200. All right, let's see. Wayne's saying we have no idea what Darko's instructions for Scotty are. That's right. I mean, I could tell you what it was in the last game. It's guard Nikola. We find out afterwards what the instructions are. This is what you're doing tonight, Scott. And that's the great thing. In some ways, he gets that variety pack of Kellogg's cereals. He's got the Frosted Flakes. He's got the Corn Flakes. He's got Corn Pops. And he's got the Fruit Loops. And Apple Jacks. And in some way, Scotty may come into NBA games with the Raptors. And Darko's saying, Scotty, tonight, I want you to play point guard. Okay. All right, Darko. That's how it is. He's on a variety pack. So Wayne's exactly right. We don't know what Darko's going to ask Scott to do on a night in, night out basis. And we need to just accept that the coach is coaching him and he's doing his assignment. And whether you like it or not, or what his stat line is, doesn't matter, because this is a project internally for the Raptors to try and get to Larry O'Brien. And what you think is the right steps to get to Larry O'Brien ain't what it is. Bobby Webster knows what it is, and Darko and the rest of the team know. They know what it is. That's right. That's right. Let's see. Shaq Lindsay saying he's got to be able to play both ends in the court or be really good at one. I would argue that he was very good at the defensive end on Monday. Oh, you're talking about Grady still. Yeah, I mean, that's true too. That's true too. Gray, it can work for both of them. I would argue that Scotty was very, very good on the defensive end. He didn't have much energy for the offensive end. He did shoot badly. He did shoot badly. And Grady, yeah, I've said this in the stream this week. If Grady's not hitting a shot, he can be a liability and he shouldn't be on the court. So he's got to get a good baseline of set defense that we can count on him dependably. And then I'll feel more comfortable in Grady running cardio if he's not making scores. He's not making shots. That's right. Let's see. Kaloy's here. He's saying, I was rewatching 2014 Spurs team. I hope that is what Darko rebuilds this team to be. They played such beautiful basketball. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he may take elements from that, but it's totally different kind of recipe in some ways. You know, it's probably a mix of different things. But yeah, I like that build. That's Kawhi, Danny Green, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, that era, Popovich. Yeah, I mean, that's a great team to mimic for sure. If there's stuff that we can steal from them and use now, I'm all for it. I agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah. Trevor J saying, I want to see Scotty IQ and Grady have a better game tonight. Yeah. A Butler game? Is that what you said? A Butler game? Yeah, dinner is served. No, I mean, yeah, of course. I want to see all the Raptors excel and do very well tonight for sure. Nako saying Noah Senge blocked a game winner for Thomas Bryant. There was a camera in Thomas Bryant's face and he pushed it away. That's hilarious. Well, Senge looking better now than he did in Summer League. Looked like a deer in headlights. And that really unfortunate dunk that he got dunked on and he had that expression. Boy, did that become the meme of the week for a while there. Yeah, he got really dunked on. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is the NBA. You're going to be on one side of the coin at different times. You're going to be on that side sometimes. You're going to be on the other side sometimes. That's just the NBA. That's how it works. Shanghai Sharks calling. That's why you guys think that he's going to go to Shanghai Sharks because he got blocked on a game winner. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. Ring, 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 ring. They're calling. Shaq Lindsay saying, don't sleep on the Kings. They like to run, and their rookies, Neek, Clifford, and Maxime, are nice. Yeah, Neek Clifford was on those Rico runs clips from this summer. So I was watching him a little bit, in some ways scouting for tonight. And yeah, he's a big power forward, kind of big body guy. He didn't really have a solely strong summer league. It was other guys that were kind of stepping up and carrying that team. But he did have okay games. And we'll see him tonight. We'll see the big Isaac Jones also. He's annoying. That guy, in some ways, he's annoying. That's right. Nako's saying, I'd rather be Chicago than the Kings. Mattis is a good player. Noah Senge could be something. I think you're right. I think that the Bulls have some real promise in some of their young players right now. And honestly, I'm glad they got rid of Lonzo Ball. He was just wasting their time. I think that that's true. I think that the younger crop for the Bulls is better than the Kings crop. I think that that's true. I think that's true. Wayne saying this, will never choose Compton over Toronto. Can't understand the exuberance over a project at least a year away from NBA level consistency when we have a demonstrated reserve for Jakob. Project is learning. Okay, we'll never choose Compton over Toronto. Okay, don't do this Kendrick stuff. Don't do this Kendrick stuff. Can't understand the exuberance over a project at least a year away from NBA level. You're talking about a college player? I'm not even totally sure who you're talking about. What project are you talking about? I don't even know. You talking about Shamshay? I don't understand. Consistency when we have a demonstrated reserve for Jakob. Project is learning. I mean, I don't totally understand your comment, Wayne. You got to make sure you put in the more context, and then I can kind of understand what you're meaning. I don't want to comment on Kendrick versus Drake. Fuck that shit. I'm still against Drake on this. And it's not that I'm on Kendrick's side. I don't want to pick a side. If I'm on his side, I'm on DeMar's side. And it has nothing to do with what he did with Kendrick. I'm just on DeMar's side because he's a groat. And Drake, he's stupid. He's annoying. That's why I'm not for Drake, is because he shot fires on DeMar on our broadcast. And that was an unforgivable sin to me. And I don't give a shit about made up rap battles between guys that just want to sell records. And in some ways, that's the whole reason why they do what they do. In some ways, that's all manufactured controversy just to get in the public eye and sell more streams. And, so I'm not going to get upset for Drake in the situation with Kendrick, just like I'm not on Kendrick's side either. But I'm on DeMar's side. And that's the one thing I will say about this. That's right. Trevor's saying Ingram? Ingrid Bergman interview. Yes, I thought it was learning under Tchaikovsky in the salon in Paris, France. Is where I really did learn my thespian attributes. What is this? Ingrid Bergman interview? What is this? He said that he loves living in downtown Toronto and close to OVO so he can go to the gym because he loves working. Yes, there was an interview that came out yesterday with Kate Burness, TSN interview with Brandon Ingram. And they're very weird lighting in there. They were trying to make it look like some sort of movie set with their red and the gray curtains behind. I think Kate Burness was trying to get some warm, glowy 1940s movie starlit light in there. And yeah, it was interesting, the interview. They started off talking about fishing. And she was asking him, where do you go to fish? And back home. And Brandon's like, about 2 minutes away from my house, there's a bridge. And I'll go down there and catch some catfish. And, he said he caught some tuna. And he's talking about selling the tuna. And, it's an interesting interview. Brandon's cool, man. Brandon really is cool. He's easygoing, too. And we found out yesterday that Brandon carries Uno cards on him. They're in Calgary at training camp, and they went to a restaurant called Salt Lick. I remember when Darko said they went to the Salt Lick restaurant the night before in the practice interview. And Brandon busts out the Uno cards, like in the middle of dinner at the table, and they're playing Uno, the Raptors, like while they're eating dinner. And it's pretty cutthroat, apparently. Like, these guys are really competitive people. They're in the NBA. And, well, Uno is an arena that they get competitive in. I think that's interesting. I mean, I know we've heard about poker games and, rookie duties that bring the cards. You better make sure you buy the cards, Rook, and make sure they're on the plane when we're flying. Well, Brandon's got the Uno cards. And I don't know, are they playing for money? Playing Uno for money? I think that's kind of cool that Brandon's a Uno guy. Like, I wouldn't have called that, man. I wouldn't have called that at all. But yeah, Brandon, he lives very close to OVO Center right now in Toronto. In fact, he probably lives somewhere around Liberty Village or somewhere in between. I think he might even live closer to the arena, but he's really enjoying being very close to OVO Center. That's the most important place to him in Toronto is OVO Center. He loves the facility. He kind of went on about the OVO Center and the facility, and like that's his favorite building because he's a gym rat, and he's going to spend most of his time down at OVO, and he really values staying near OVO and being able to go to OVO 24/7 because he's going down there 24/7. I'll bet you Brandon Ingram, if he's not sleeping well, is going down there at like 3 a.m. in the morning during the season. And that's just who he is. He's a gym rat. That's just who he is. So he's in heaven. He's like, in some ways, I love downtown. I don't go anywhere else because I just go to OVO over and over again. That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear, Raptors fans. That Brandon is going to OVO constantly. Constantly. That's right. Fiercely saying this. Malik Monk is a shooting guard, in my opinion. But I guess he wants to replicate the IQ route and hope for more visibility. He's a bigger size. He's definitely a shooting guard. You're right. He's more like it's just one of these weird situations where teams like the Suns have a whole bunch of shooting guards, and the Kings are similar for this. And so they're starting shooting guards at point guard just to have the ability to play their most talented players who are shooting guards all in the starting lineup. So it's like Devin Booker to me is a point guard. No, to me, he's a shooting guard naturally, but the Suns have been starting him at point guard for years now. Because in some ways, that's what it is. But in some ways, maybe this is part of the problem. You got a shooting guard playing point guard. And you just added a bunch of shooting guards. You made a trade with Houston for Kevin Durant. And you got a bunch of shooting guards in the past. You got all shooting guards on your team, Phoenix Suns. What the fuck are you, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and Devin Booker? What the fuck are you? In some ways, the Kings are like that. You got DeMar, you got Zach, you got Malik Monk. These are your 3 best scorers. They're all shooting guards. So there's a little bit of that conundrum. But then again, they're slotting DeMar DeRozan at power forward nowadays. That's crazy to me. They want to put DeMar at power forward sometimes. I guess he can because he's got the strength now. I guess he can. But yeah, I don't know. Malik Monk, to me, has been a shooting guard. I agree with you. Yeah, Kareem's saying, ain't nobody care about Sacramento Queens. That's what Shaq said in the early 2000s when he was playing for the Lakers with Kobe. And they played against Vladdy, Chris Webber, Doug Christie, and the crew, Peja Stojakovic. Yeah, that was disrespectful. In some ways, that was trash talk. between teams. And you know what? It comes off so bad because obviously one of the most egregious ref hit jobs in the history of the NBA was in that year that the Kings played the Lakers in the playoffs around when Shaq said this. And so Shaq, you couldn't beat the Kings on your own. You had to have the refs fix the game to make sure they lost. And that did happen. It was egregiously bad. The Kings should have beat you guys. But NBA storylines were being written and very blatantly, openly in front of us. And Tim Donaghy was right. So, yeah, Shaq, you go ahead and call them the Sacramento Queens, but you had the hand-holding of 3 referees to put the Kings out that year because they were fucking helping you guys beat them. It's so blatantly obvious. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Kareem saying, my vote for Rookie of the Year plays for Sacramento. Name is Neat Clifford out of Colorado State. There you go. There you go. See, he's respecting Neat Clifford and saying high praise, thinking he's going to be the Rookie of the Year. Fiercely saying, thanks for the clarifications, Lex. I agree. Rico is most definitely talking to younger players. Yeah, I think that's what it is. He's not talking to our Raptors. And I'll tell you why. It's because we know these guys have worked their ass off, and all of them are in really good shape already because they've been all summer. You could be talking to rookies for other squads like Portland or Sacramento instead, or UCLA kids. We got to understand if there's 6 or 8 teams of 5 there, well, that's like 50 players that are just hanging around in Rico's gym. And, well, there are going to be a percentage of them that are in shape and some that are lagging. And that's who Rico's talking to. That's right. That's who he's talking to. That's right. That's right. James saying, Lex, you picked up Halliburton. Is he going to play this season? Yeah, you saw that I went and picked up Halliburton. I had another extra spot, and I seen somebody went and got Fred, somebody went and got Jason Tatum, somebody got Lillard, different people. Kyrie's supposed to come back around New Year's, and Cass grabbed him. And we've been stashing some of these injured reserve guys just on the chance of possibility. Like, this is the thing. This is the reasoning for this, James, is Tyrese Halliburton may not play this whole entire year, and it may be a waste. But I can use that spot for the whole year, hold on to him, dibs. And if he does show up right at the end of the year, well, all of a sudden I have a more powerful instant ad right at the end of the year for the playoff run. And that's kind of the thinking for that. I may very well drop him again because I need the spot for injured reserve management because I have too many guys hurt. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to wait all year, and I'm going to just drop Halliburton again. But I'm just going to put dibs on him for right now. Just dibs on him right now. Kareem's saying, Lex, did you grade a team today? If not, do mine. My team is ass and not half-assing about it. All right, yes. We'll do our scout of the day on a fantasy team from our NBA fantasy draft on Yahoo with the Raptor Freaks, and we're going to go look at Kareem Thomas's team. It's a complete crap. He has an awesome picture for his team. It is Darko yelling, it's a complete crap in LA after that bullshit that happened when he said, if you didn't even want the Raptors to win, why do we even show up at the building? Yeah, it's a complete crap is the name of Kareem's fantasy team. And, well, we'll start at the top. I love that you got Scotty Barnes, obviously. Kareem Thomas has Scotty Barnes as his Raptor. That's fantastic. You're going to be awesome. They're saying that Scotty's going to average 46 fantasy points per game this season. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Anthony Simons is your point guard. He's not bad. We'll have to see how he fits with the Celtics. They are talking about moving him, so he could have a change of scenery very soon. Andrew Wiggins, I've never been that big on. But honestly, in the position he's on in Miami, he has a lot of potential to just go take something. But will he do it? Maybe not. He might just live his life like a bump on a log and just kind of hang out in Miami, wasting his life. Are you going to go reclaim your career, Andrew Wiggins, to an extent in Miami this year? I don't know. I have no faith in him. Kevin Durant is a good pick as long as he's healthy. We know that. And in some ways, he's slowing down. Zion Williamson has some promise this year, Kareem. He does look more slimmed down. And you know what? If he doesn't take his career seriously this year, that really may mean he really is like such a huge bust and waste for his career. But if it's not going to happen, it's going to happen this year. It's do or die time for him. You picked up Kevin Huerter, who's on Chicago. He's a pretty good shooter. Rudy Gobert, as much as I don't like him in real life, he's a good fantasy player in a lot of ways. So I can respect that pick, even if I don't respect the man in real life. Derek Lively II is a fantastic player. That's a great player to have. VJ Edgecombe, we'll have to see. He was on the Rico Runs highlights. that I watched, and he was a mixed bag. I still feel like he's not a good enough shooter. That he's going to be a very athletic kind of guard, kind of like Russell Westbrook. But I don't have any. I don't know. In some ways I want to hate on the Sixers just blindly. D'Angelo Russell plays for Dallas now. Who cares? Isaiah Collier. He's Utah's an interesting team. There's a lot of places where a young player can carve out a niche and become a more established NBA player. Maybe Isaiah Collier does that this year. Brooke Lopez is a backup center, not a bad pick. Dalton Connect, he looked good in some of the stuff I seen on Rico. Russell Westbrook, you got to drop him, man. He's NA. He's not in the league. And Royce O'Neal was your last pick. Nothing really to talk about. Overall, your team, I like Scott. I like Gobert and Durant. But overall, your team's kind of ho-hum to me, man. I'm gonna be honest. If I'm scouting, like I scouted James and I scouted Gerald already this week. Those were the first two scouts this week. I'm kind of liking Gerald's team the most. No, I don't like Gerald's team. I like James's team the most, then Gerald's, and then Kareem's. Yeah, because Gerald's got half his team I like, and half his team I absolutely despise. And James's team was okay, I think, from what I looked at. So if I'm looking at the three teams and just how I like teams, I think I like James's team the best out of the ones I've seen so far. I do like Scotty, though. You do get points for Scotty, Kareem. I will say that. Yeah. Wayne saying, okay, Lexicon, probably missed that episode. I remember you mentioning that Grady golf ball incident probably went over my head after that. The intelligence department working just fine. All right, cool. Well, I like that we have quality control on it. I need you to do this, Sergeant, for sure. No, there was a really funny Instagram post that Jamal Shed put up of Grady Dick putting his head in a bear statue's mouth at UCLA. And when I saw the UCLA and I knew Rico runs were going, I was like, I think the Raptors went to Rico runs. And I said it that day. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was aware of it. I just wasn't confirmed until yesterday. It was just not confirmed until then. I'm sure a lot of people on the inside knew the whole time. Kareem saying, I was just talking with my coworker with a newborn. She was saying she's afraid because AI is taking over and everything the next generation sees, they will believe technology will blow this earth up. It's very scary, guys. I was watching a video yesterday about how to detect AI. There's a way you can detect it, and there's like a weird crystal star pattern on AI images. Even if they're really well done, there's telltale things you can look at. Sometimes it has to do with shadows in the picture. Sometimes it has to do with perspective, as far as like if you saw lines going off into the sunset, would they meet up? There's all kinds of ways that AI cannot replicate time and physics and space. And those are part of the critical thinking skills that the next generation is going to have. I worry about everything I see online now. Like they have a clip of Jane Goodall right now coming out about her talking about how she wants to blast Elon, Donald Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin into space forever and just go away. And in some ways, I like the sentiment. I like it, but I worry that this is an AI created piece, that she didn't really say that, and every kind of thing, you got to have critical thinking right now and worried about this. And this is exactly right. I mean, this is the world I'm talking about that we need to shape. Are we going to shape AI with regulation? Well, the Trump administration doesn't want any rules on AI. They want to allow AI to be infiltrated into our society in some of the most nefarious ways for earning money off us or deceiving us. I would say that, some of us may need to, the older generation, people like us in our middle age, we may need to take a step back from technology like older people do and just say, fuck this world. We're not going further with this shit at this point, because in some ways, this stuff is getting too good to fooling people. And you know what? I'm going to go a little more Amish in my life. You can find the balance of social media and interaction with technology coming in the future, because everything's accelerating. And they're saying by 2027, everything's going to be changed. And we need to be ready for this and kind of getting ready. And some of the ways we need to get ready is understand that what seems to be real is not real anymore. And it is really like we're so lucky. We grew up in the 80s. You grew up in the 90s. You got a time before the internet just took over. You got a time when you rode bikes and you did things outside. And you had a different kind of growing up than these kids today, because they have devices and it's a lot different, guys. And that's sad in some ways. So we need to balance regulating AI for the good of humanity, honestly. And I don't think everybody that's in charge of that is responsible, and they're not going to be thinking about that. And that there could very well be very bad decisions with AI decided for all of us against our own consent. And that's fucked up. That's fucked up right there. That is very fucked up. Man, in some ways, look, I look at, having kids as a grass is greener on the other side situation, not for me. I'm looking at it like, look, I would have loved to have children in my life, but I did not. And in some ways, I'm glad considering what's coming up. But I'll be like, you know what? If I did have kids, I would do everything in my power to shape a future for them. I need to do it for my niece and nephew, as there are young people that I care about, all y'all's kids too. But in some ways, I'm like, man, Lex, you know what? You would have been nice to have kids and worry about the responsibility and have offspring and all that kind of stuff. But man, in some ways, I don't have half the stress that some other people are going to have. That's part of how I look so young at 50 right now, is because I never had kids stressing me out and wearing me down. And now it's not even what the kids might do. It's what the world is creating for the kids coming up that would keep me up at night. So it's a trade-off. In some ways, I don't have the grass is greener and say, hey, these are my genes, offspring going forward after me. But hey, do I want that for the person bringing that into life? I mean, that's kind of where I'm looking at it right now. In some ways, that's the best thing to do. Game it for your side of the grass. Don't always think the grass is greener on the other side. I could get all bent out of shape in my feelings about not having kids, but I have to play the side of it that's benefiting me in some ways. And y'all benefit the other side on the other side with kids. Say, I'm very proud and happy to have created a person. They're amazing, and I love them. That's the trade-off. That's the trade-off. And in some ways, I'm not going to get all bent out of shape about which side of the grass I'm standing on. I'm going to play the strengths of what I got. I can be crazy and cringe and cuss and do stupid ass impressions on this channel, and there is no child that's looking at me, Dad, you're so embarrassing. In some ways, I couldn't do this channel if I had children. So there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off on everything, man. I worry for the future. I really do, man. Joshua Ellis is saying, don't worry about AI. You have to worry about the people who use AI that will give them the edge. Brian is a great backup. There you go. Nice to see a new name in the chat. Good morning to you, Josh. We do this every morning. Thank you for the subscription. I think this is a good discernment. It's not about AI itself. It's about how it will be used and who's going to use it and for what nefarious purposes. The big thing right now is the collection of the data of the United States people by Elon and the pilfering of the U.S. government and all their data. He went and pilfered all the data. That's really fucked up, and it's illegal, and it's messed up. And would you trust the people that are in the White House right now to know everything about everybody on a scale of what they took from like all the agencies, Social Security office, everybody? It's crazy. It's dystopian and it's fucked up. And that's why we need to get the power back from the racists, the white supremacists in MAGA, because they will weaponize all this shit against their enemies like they already are trying to do in certain ways. And you guys, we got to fight, man. You can't pick like sideline. You can't pick the sideline. It's like in Nazi Germany, people that picked the sideline were fuckers. Seriously. If you're going to be a racist and a white supremacist and ICE, go on to that side. I say you're fucked and you're a piece of shit and fuck you. But in some ways, I don't have respect for the people that are sidelining too in this. We need everybody, all hands on deck, to resist and shape the future in the right way. And I appreciate Joshua Ellis being here. I think he's right. Brian is a great backup. I'm with him on this side. You guys can diss Thomas Bryant. You're right too. You guys aren't wrong either. I mean, it's all perspective. Joshua, thanks for the sub, and I hope to see more comments from you coming up. Yeah, Kareem saying Thomas Bryant is good, and makers of AI are the true criminals. There you go. There you go. It's a genie in the bottle, and once we let that genie out, in some ways, we're not going to be able to put it back in, and the world will be changed forever. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm telling you right now. Fiercely saying, hey, Lex, can you rate my fantasy team? Only one a day. You're going to have to get in there the spot before Kareem Thomas tomorrow. If you're going to want me to rank your team, I'm not going to do this segment for like 3 teams in one stream. It's a 1 team per day kind of thing. We've done James, we've done Gerald, we've done Kareem, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You want it, you get it first thing in comments tomorrow. You'll get it, but not 2 in one day. I'm sorry. Kareem saying Chev is back in the day always said it was Scotty who forced the Pacers to trade Sabonis after he owned him. Oh, that's what you're saying? Yeah, I don't know about that. Shep's kind of over dramatizing that. I don't know about that. I think that the Pacers just really wanted Halliburton. And that's part of why that happened. I think they just really wanted Halliburton. Fiercely saying there was a taller black man wearing the black shorts with stripes. His hair was like Chucky's, but less poofy. It must have been someone who just happened to wear the same shorts. I mean, we got to remember the Miami Heat's shorts look like our shorts. I don't know. I'd have to analyze this. I can't go off of this, just this little bit of details to really pinpoint who it was. I named every Raptor I saw in that video. So if that wasn't one of those names, let's see. Fierce to say, no worries. I was just curious to see who it was. Yeah, the descriptions it's tough to kind of get this specifically in some ways without actually watching it or something like that. I'm watching it with you right now. I've watched it, but yeah. All right, let's keep going. It's not a big deal. Kareem saying Golden Age Warriors. All right, you want one for that? I'll give you one for that. That's pretty good too. You guys are really dissing the Warriors here. Golden Age Warriors. I mean, they are very old. They have a very skewed age bracket on their team right now. They really do. And so do the Clippers. Clippers are very old also. Olden State. That's right. The whole state of California is Olden. Olden. Yeah, but what was this LeBron thing? I'm finding out more and more that he really pushed this as like, I'm making a second decision. I'm making a second decision, like the South Beach decision. And everybody's like, what is he doing? What's he going to say? And it's a fucking advertisement for Hennessy. And JJ Redick's like, y'all were stupid for thinking he was actually going to say anything. We all knew he wasn't going to say anything. In some ways, a lot of people are reacting to LeBron's little stunt as like, man, this cheapens you, bro. Like, this is stupid, man. Why did you do this? Like, it really kind of makes you look like a cheap and kind of goofy and like some sort of second-rate alcohol salesman. Like, seriously, LeBron, I don't think you help your brand trying to do an homage to the South Beach decision and doing a publicity stunt for an alcohol company. I mean, seriously, what is that? What is that, man? Kenne's here. Good to see original Raptor Street. Kenne. He's one of the top 5 original people that follow my channel, guys. This is what preseason is for, to try different things and eliminate rust. That's exactly right. Kenne knows the assignment. He's got it down. Big Baseman Mischief is here in the chat this morning. Let's see what he's saying. Lex, who you rather play, Seattle or Detroit Lions? Me personally, I'd rather face Detroit. Well, unfortunately, I do not know anything about Major League Baseball. We're going to go Magnum PI or Ken Griffey Jr. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. See, that was a style icon hat instead of the Yankees hat. Ugly ass old Yankees hat. Thomas Magnum rocking the Detroit Tigers hat and riding around the Ferrari. And Higgins yelling out, Thomas, please bring the car back without a scratch. Yeah, Higgins. I know Higgins. I will, Higgins. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I would like to play the Seattle Mariners. You know why? Because they've kicked our ass in postseason in recent years, and they are due for a receipt. So I want to kick the Mariners' ass and put their ass out because they've embarrassed the Blue Jays in the postseason in the last decade. That's who I want to play. Yeah, I don't want to shy away. We owe something for Seattle. That's what I remember now. That's right. That's who I want to face. Baseman, good to see you, man. Look, we got Miss Jillian, Miss Jilly, Miss Moody. I'm going to take a water break just because she's here this morning. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, Jillian. Hope you're doing well. Y'all were asking me to come and watch the game with y'all in Discord on Monday. I thought about doing it, but I was like, you know what? The Raptors are back. I just really want to focus on them very carefully. But I may be in there tonight if you guys want to talk during the game. That's one of the member privileges. If you become a member of this channel, you get access to our Discord server. And during the game, I will be in there talking on the mic, reacting to the game live. But, we'll see. Maybe we'll do it tonight. I just felt like the first game back, I was like, in some ways, it's a very intimate relationship I have with the Raptors. Don't go in weird ways. This is a very close relationship. And them coming back, I wanted to share it with myself just for one night. But I'm open to talking to you guys on the Discord tonight. I know Joe was active in there on Monday night. Yeah, morning all. It's see, Salt Lake is okay. Moxie's and Earl's is better. Speaking of, Canadian goods on the straight Canadian goods. Let's go look and see what I got this morning, guys. I'm talking about Miney. Miney is a Canadian company offering concentrated and plastic-free products made locally. And they have soap, bathroom cleaners, kitchen cleaners and degreasers, dishwasher detergent, glass and window cleaners, floor cleaners, stainless steel cleaners. Yes, Miney is fully manufactured in Canada with local labor. Stainless steel cleaner uses Canadian sourced ingredients when possible and aligns with the company's mission of reducing household waste through concentrated labels. They're very, very much a green company, and they are manufactured in Quebec. So if you want to get another cleaning product on the market that's not Dow or Procter and Gamble or any American big corporation, Miney, M-Y-N-I, has all kinds of cleaning products, soaps, and stuff out of Quebec. So go ahead and get that Miney and get your house clean. There you go. There you go. There's your straight goods on Canadian goods right there. Yeah, Moxie's is good. We did Moxie's as a straight good on the Canadian goods too. You know, yeah. Pickleball champ. That's right. And low key, Salt Lick is a low key spot. Okay. That's where the Raptors went. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's a one place kind of place. It's not a chain, right? Salt Lick. It's a one kind of restaurant, right? Jillian's saying, hey, man, you saw any of the Raps out there? Seymour went to the practice. And once again, Jillian comes in and immediately starts talking to somebody else instead of asking me questions. You should be saying, hey, Lex, how are you doing? Let's ask Lex a question on his show instead of coming in and asking somebody in the comments and just doing this. Jill, this is my whole problem with you the whole time is you're cross-talking. That's what they call it. You're cross-talking. You come in and you just like, we know Seymour went to the open practice. If you came and watched the show every day, you'd see that Seymour went to the open practice. He paid $160 to go to the game. And you'd know that. If you just were here, come on now. Yeah, way cool. You met one? Yes, just stop. Jill, I'm going to skip you if this is all what you're going to do when you come in the chat. I don't mind if you do this in the Discord because that's not the stream. This is the show. And the show's about talking to Lex. You want to talk to Seymour, go ahead and get in his DMs. How about that? That's the place. That's the proper place for this kind of shit, just so you know. All right. And you've done like a long dialogue and kind of just railroaded my chat into your fucking conversation with Seymour. Jill, I'm glad you liked Seymour and you guys want to talk and you connected, but I don't appreciate you doing this. And this has been my problem with you all along. So I'm going to skip this whole fucking part with Jillian and Seymour with her just going on a conversation with. Do you understand what my problem is, Jill, now? Seriously, this is why I'm not totally welcoming you on the stream because you've consistently done this every single time you come in here. Seriously, I don't mind a little bit of crosstalk between people. If you have a question with some other people, you want to talk just for a sec, but a running dialogue, what the fuck, Jillian? Seriously, a running dialogue. Come on now. I drank the water already. Monique is here. Let's go, Raptors. Happy game day. Raptor Freak crew forever. Yeah, see, I can't read y'all's comments in any kind of way for this channel. In some ways, it's useless. I love you, Seymour. I know you. It's not you. It's Jillian, the way she does shit like this. Seriously. All right, let's see. If you want to see how intense these preseason games are, go watch what Jalen Johnson did to Amen Thompson. You're welcome. You know, I will say this. On Monday night, the energy against the Nuggets in the Raptors game was a little bit more uptick than a normal preseason game. There was a lot of hitting the floor. There was a lot of physicality. There was a lot of like playing all out. This is very different pace than easing into the preseason first game like in the past in the history of the NBA. Most teams got a warm-up game, and they're like, nah, don't take it very seriously. Don't strain yourself. Don't get hurt. Just come in and play and, ease your way into the season. No, that's not what's happening this year. It's very interesting. In some ways, it has to do with the finals, with the Thunder and the Pacers and the way they played. Everybody's seen it. They're like, oh, shit, we got to play our asses off now. And they're coming back into the season with their best foot forward and coming in. And the kinetics and the activity and the competition and the stakes are really high for preseason. People are playing all out. People are playing crazy. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. That's right. Neil's here. Good to see Neil with his Raptor logo. This has become Neil's signature come in. Here's the Vince Carter dunk logo. Thank you for supporting this channel, Blackhawk. I very much appreciate you. One of the biggest supporters of this channel. He's not only supporting the channel, he comes to all our events too, pretty much. Appreciate y'all. Next Raptor Freak Hangout is probably going to be at the Raptors 905 game, Skyhawks next month. in November. We're going to be going on a Sunday at 2 p.m. I believe it's the 6th. Let me just look real quick. It's the 9th. It's the 9th. October the 9th. November the 9th, we'll be going to Mississauga to watch the Raptors 905 play against College Park Skyhawks, 2 p.m. start. So mark that on your calendar, Raptor Freaks. If you want to hang out with me, I'm going to the 905 game on that day, October the 9th. So let's go to the game. That's right. That's right. And Neil went with me last year, and it was a lot of fun. Trevor's saying Delano Banton. Hang on. What? Delano signed with the Dallas Mavericks now. Delano Banton signed with them? I thought they said somebody else signed with them this morning. Well, either way, I wish Delano well. We'll see if he sticks. And maybe he's on training camp roster and he may get cut still, Trevor. Yeah, Criscom's here. Good morning, Criscom. Good morning, Lex, Raptor Freaks. So I'm not making any more calls on these preseason games, but I want to see Scotty get some easy buckets. But more importantly, we need the Jays to step it up tonight. No errors. There you go. There you go. No predictions from the great Criscom for tonight. Yes, we want to see the Jays win tonight. That's the priority. That's the priority. In some ways, I don't care if the Raptors win tonight or not. I do care if the Jays win tonight. We need to beat them in New York tonight, Blue Jays. Don't mess around. Beat the Yankees. Put them out. Don't mess around. And yeah, I think that the Raptors, if I'm picking the game tonight, I think we will win tonight. And hopefully we'll see Scotty Barnes have a bigger game than Monday night, and people will shut up talking about Barnes. I hope that for him. I do. Superfan Mo is saying this: W Stream, W Vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. Raptor Free Crew strong forever. Just helping limit the comments. I appreciate you, Mo. I really, really do. You're a great producer. And thank you for being a beacon of hope and prosperity for the Raptors nation. That's right. Jill saying, yes, Scotty's got to get more shots. Okay. Yep. Seymour saying, laugh out loud. I thought he said Miss Booty, but it was Miss Moody. I got to clean up my ears. It's all what it is, man. Get an ear candle. They don't do anything, some people say, but I feel like they clear me out. Seriously, I don't know. They always say ear candles don't work, and doctors do not recommend them. They can be dangerous. But I've used ear candles to get that earwax out just for fun. It's a weird thing. It does make you feel lighter for some reason. I don't know why. Cream saying, I'd rather play the Mariners. Everyone on the West Coast travel well and will infatuate Seattle's home games. Okay. So you mean Western Canadian people from BC will jump the border and provide support for the Blue Jays on the road in Seattle, is what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true to a degree. There's a lot of good fans for the Jays out west, although some of them are Mariners fans too out there. Yeah, I could see this. I'd rather play the Mariners just because of receipts. Seriously, I think that the Blue Jays owe Seattle a beatdown for them eliminating us in the past, and we owe it to them. Fiercey saying, "Hi Lex, I'll ask you again tomorrow." Laugh out loud. Yeah, sorry, Fiercey. I made it clear that it's a one team a day thing. I want to stretch this segment out, so just get in there before the other guys. And you will get your team looked over next. It's just whoever gets in the comments first will get the review, like what I did there. Yeah. Criscom saying, what's the chance of the Jays, Leafs, and Raptors wins? Not that I watch the Leafs. Could be a Toronto sweep. That's always fun. I like that when that happens, when all Toronto teams win on the same day. And there's been historic days in the history of Toronto where like 5 Toronto teams have all won on the same day. And you got to figure that's when the overlap happens, where there would be all possibilities, like right around this time of the year, where the Jays are still playing and the Leafs and the Raptors are in preseason. So, yeah, I like it when we have multiple Toronto teams all win on the same day. We just need FC playing, right? Or the Argos or something like that, too. And get like a Thanos stones of all the Toronto teams winning. That'd be awesome, man. I'm all about that. That's right. That's right. Cool Cat's here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew. Tuning in very late. Better late than never. I'm right at almost 2 hours, and we're going to finish up very quick. Good to see you, Cool Cat, the coach, my WNBA expert, and Pascal Stan #1. That's right. That's who she is. That's right. Seymour saying, sorry, Lex, it was my fault with Jillian. No, it isn't. It is not. It's her action. She always does this. She will not. She used to say, hi, Lex. How are you doing? She's like, hey, Seymour, how's it going? Come on, I'm sad. It's like you don't care about me. It's like she comes in the room and like I'm the speaker at the podium with the microphone, and she's going in the corner and she's having a little discussion during the speech. and talking loudly in the corner. That's what this is. That's what this is. I'm like, I'm trying to do a speech to the gathering, and Jill comes into the room. She gets a glass of water in the corner, and I drink some water too. And then she sits down with Seymour, and she just starts talking loudly and having a conversation with him, like it's a movie's going on or something like that. Don't do that, Jill. Please. Please, I don't mind y'all interacting a little bit. It's fine. But when you have running conversations, it just derails my chat. It derails my chat. It's all good, man. It's all good. No, don't be worrying about it, Seymour. In some ways, it's like, look, Jill's not here very often. It's just that if she came in and she was here more often and she didn't do it for a period of time, I would be okay. But it's like, I haven't seen her in the chat for weeks and she immediately comes in and does it. And I'm like, why? Why are you doing this, Jill? Come on now. 14 more days. That's right, Mo. That countdown is closer. It's 2 more weeks. That's right. I love it. Fiercely saying, imagine thinking leg room is retiring and you buy a bunch of tickets to watch him play one last season. Then you see a stupid Hennessy ad. It's kind of like the Rapture stuff that just happened, right? Everybody thought the Rapture was going to happen. They made some big life decisions and then it didn't happen. Well, maybe that was part of the design of the tease. We're going to have a big announcement for leg room, which is wild. You call him leg room. And he's acting like he may be announcing he's retiring. So everybody's ticket sales around the NBA goes up. It's like, oh, LeBron's retiring. Is LeBron retiring? Man, I need to get tickets to the Laker game right now because he may be retiring and my name never get to see him again. And that, that could be part of it, is a fake out to try and bolster sales with a really cheap gimmick. I think that was part of it. I think it was, seriously. Kareem saying LeBron loves seeking attention. He sucks. And Jordan's the GOAT. There you go. You want to dunk? You got it. Kareem knows the language to get dunks. He knows how to get easy dunks. That's why he's the dunk champion. That's why he is, always leading at it. 239 on the dunk charts for Kareem. Man, you could get to 300 this year, man. That'd be awesome. We'll have to see. Let's see. Autocorrect. LeBron. Yeah, I like that you called him leg room. I think that's interesting. Leg room James. That's right. And little Roomy James. Roomy James. Leg roomy. Fiercely saying, tonight I'll watch game and chat with Monique in the Facebook chat. Mo is funny. Yeah, there is the option of watching the game in the Facebook chat with Mo and commenting with her there too, because she is making notes and observations there too. I will check in there sometimes, every once in a while, but I'm trying not to be on Facebook too much. And I'll come in and check every once in a while what you guys are talking about in there. I'm not fully gone from Facebook, but I'm very close. I'm very, very close to just saying, fuck Meta, fuck Zuckerberg, fuck Instagram, fuck Facebook. I'm so close to want to get out of there. It's hard to get out of there, though. It really is. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Siakam was shooting threes like crazy last night. Raptors fans must be patient as player skills improve every year. Exactly. I'm totally with you on that. James is saying Pascal is the number one option again. Definitely, for sure. With Hallie out, he's definitely the best option and the number one option. That's right. He's going to post some good stats this year. Yeah, Cool Cat should see good returns from drafting Siakam in the first round in our fantasy draft. She should see good returns on that. Monique saying, thanks, Fiercey. No one's in the Facebook chat anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I mean, in some ways, like I said, Facebook is just something that I can't put a lot of energy into at this point. That's the way to put it. That's the way to put it right there. In some ways, I don't really trust Mark Zuckerberg and what he's doing with our data and stuff. And I'm like, man, I need to get the hell out of here. If it don't seem right, it's not right. And in some ways, Facebook is going to be one of the biggest vehicles for AI bullshit, guys, and absolute untruths. When they got rid of the fact checkers on Facebook, I said, this is going to hell. They did basically what Elon did to Twitter when he bought it. They got rid of all sense of like facts and fact checking. Nobody's hired to do that on Facebook anymore. So there's nobody really checking the facts on that site anymore. So if you're using Facebook, understand, take everything you see on there with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of manufactured content for the algorithm and to test you in different ways that you may not realize. You may not realize that's going on, man. That's right. That's right. Let's see. And I love Monique too. I love seeing that. Kaz is saying 2-finger salute to Facebook. If it wasn't for family, I would have deleted my account a long time ago. I'm with you, Lex. Yeah, it's a similar thing for me. there's a lot of bonds with people from high school and back in Tallahassee that I can keep track of through Facebook. But in some ways, I'm like, what is this worth? And maybe this wasn't supposed to be like this. In the old world, you didn't keep ties with people from like 40 years ago just because you could on social media. Maybe you just didn't need to know where their person was, or that they had they're living this life in Arizona and shit like that. It's like, I mean, I get it. In some ways, it's a very effective communication tool to be able to stay in touch with people that you need to be in touch with, like your family. And that's been the biggest, hardest part of it for sure, right there. All right, let me see. What am I doing in my tabs next? Let's go do the Instagram stories. Mark Gasol is saying that Girona is ready, and he's got a EuroLeague, EuroLeague women he's supporting here. Let's see. There, he's putting on blast Dia de Parti, and that's Girona is the team. That's a Spanish women's team. And Mark Gasol is putting that on blast. Savannah Hamilton and Ashley Docking. Cinderella stories covering the WNBA finals right now. Get all that information about the WNBA from their fantastic podcast, Cinderella Stories. That's right. There's all kinds of great outtakes on Savannah's Instagram. So Pascal Siakam's hilarious on his entry picture for the game last night for the Pacers. He's got a priest walking in behind him, and it's kind of like says a lot. The priest photobomb is tough because we know the journey and the story of Siakam, that he is possibly going to go to the seminary and become a priest. Well, the priest is still walking behind him. And this is not a Sunday night banger. That's right. There you go, Siakam. There you go. Apparently at the Blue Jays game last night in New York, there were a couple of people that ran on the field, and one guy almost made it to home. And my friend Thuzy posted the highlights of this. And I was kind of looking at this. It's like, yeah, if somebody's going to run on the field, if you really want to go run on the field, run when they're on the field, because there's only a certain amount of security to get everybody. If 2 or 3 people ran at once, or maybe 4 or 5, wow, that really kind of would show something. This is the strategy you use against ICE and against the powers that be. If one person's going to go do it, if all y'all do it, they can't stop everybody. Let's just put it that way. Power to the people. That's what I say right there. And I mean, you don't run on the field during a Yankees, Blue Jays playoff game. It's not the best idea. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, you don't need a charge for something that frivolous. Go get a charge for something real. There's the Raptors playing Uno at Salt Lick on Raptors Open Gym Director of Photography's account. And yeah, this is hardcore, man. They're saying this Uno stuff is really hardcore there. These guys are very serious Uno players. There's Eric Smith dapping Jamal Murray in the backstage at the Vancouver game, just saying, hey, what's up, Jamal? These Canadian guys hanging out. Let's see who else we got. Let's see. It's game day. And there's the RJ on there for the Sacramento Kings game tonight. It's going to be a very, very fun game. I'm ready for it. There's Darko signing a jersey for a Serbian fan. Very, very cool from the game the other night. Toronto Tempo president is all about building Canada's team. Toronto Tempo and CEIBC are coming, and they're going to get more and more people involved. There's Whitney Bell, the CEO of Money, I guess, or something like that. She's marketing, I think, CEO of marketing. And they're talking about the partnership with CIBC and how it's enabling the Toronto Tempo to get their brand out there stronger right across the country. And they're going to be playing games in Vancouver and Montreal this season coming up for the WNBA. You got to love it. You got to love it. There's Scotty. Somebody posted him and Jonathan as the 561 Palm Beach Boys, and he's reposted it on his Instagram from Jonathan's big dunk from RJ's pass on there. And there's Scotty signing autographs for the kids in Vancouver, signing lots of stuff and skipping all the Denver fans. That's right. Skip all the Denver fans, Scott. Elijah Martin in his Raptor Red 55 on his Instagram. I love seeing more Raptors pictures on your social media, Elijah. Finally, this is good. These are good signs. There is also on Jacoby's, and they're playing Drake Views over the picture of Elijah in the Raptors 55. There's Jonathan Mobo with a picture of the Raptors bench from the game the other night, and there's just a heart. He loves these guys. He sees the joy and the happiness on all the Raptors on that bench. Garrett Temple, Ulrich, Scotty, RJ. Yeah. Jonathan loves being a Raptor. Emmanuel Quickly has a picture of him working out on his Instagram stories this morning. That's right. Get those muscles even bigger, man. Jamal Shed is putting on blast Fabian White Jr. He got 19 points in the first half. Wow. There you go. Young Osh is styling and profiling for Sharp magazine. And he's got a Michael Jackson looking yellow jacket on. He's at an art museum and he did a photo shoot. So you go on then, Oshai Abaji, with your style and your fashion and Sharp magazine and looking all cultured. That's right. Grady Dick with Carla. And I believe they're taking one of their elevator pictures that they seem to do. They find themselves on an elevator from time to time. And if there's a mirror in it, Carla and Grady like to pose for it. Grady looks a little forlorn. Maybe he's hearing a little bit of the noise about what Raptors fans are saying about his shooting performance on Monday. Man, get it out of your head. You are a present day, present moment kind of guy. Forget the past. Live in the moment, Grady Dick. And go on tonight and hit your threes tonight, and we'll forget about Monday very, very quickly. That's right. Norman Powell has a UCLA fan with him, and he brought his All-Star jersey from the All-Star shootout last year because Norman went to the All-Star weekend as part of the three-point shootout. And, well, there was a jersey for his three-point shootout, and the fan has it, the UCLA fan. And, well, Slim Duck is in Boston Celtics now, and he's reposting Kevin Garnett stuff in the Celtics kind of stuff. So Slim Duck is Celtics Nation, guys. We just got to get used to that. There's your Instagram stories for today. Uno is the game of the day. That's right. Uno. If you don't say Uno, you got to pick up 2 cards. That's right. You better. Raptors Reddit reactions. Let's see what they're saying on Raptors Reddit this morning. Some people have already gotten very attached to Sandro Mamu after one game. They've got a funny meme on here from Brooklyn 99, 911 or what 91 or whatever. And it's the crazy girl, Rosa or whatever, the one that will stab you. She's awesome. I love her character. She's saying, I've had Sandro Mamu for one preseason game, but if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this subreddit and then myself. So people have some strong feelings about Sandro Mamu Kelevisheli already this year. That's right. So, yeah, here's somebody with a funny meme of Scotty with 0 for 6 field goals and saying, I'll ignore that. Yeah, it's just one game. And once again, the assignment was Nikola. That's right. Yeah, there's not much more on Raptors Reddit to react to right now at that point. Let me see if there's anything new on Blue Skies that's interesting. Just a MAGA dumpster fire, looks like there. No birthdays today, which is interesting. There's no birthdays the last 2 days. Monique's saying, this is probably my last stream, Lex, because I'll be at the game, but I'll check in now and then. Awesome. Yeah, you mean like what do you mean? Yeah, I know you're going to be going to the preseason game on Friday against Boston, and then you'll go again on Friday too, but you'll be around for the away games, right? I'll see you there, right? All right, let's do the classic card. Let's see, 2 hours, 11 minutes. So let's get to everything and get out of here. Okay, we'll do this one. This is hilarious. This is kind of funny that I just pulled this one randomly out. Full name answer will get the classic card points. So make sure you write the whole name in, even all the extra stuff, if you could, please. All right, yeah, who is this? It's not very classic, but it is not current. Who is this classic card of the day, guys? It's a mosaic card. Michael Porter Jr. is right. Fiercey's got it. That's Jonte's brother, the criminal family, the Porter family. Yeah, it's Michael Porter. Just before you, Cass, today, MJ got it. Yeah, it's Michael Porter. You guys like this card? Cass, do you like this card? I'll send it to you. Cass, tell me whether you want this card sent to you with your trophy. I'll put it in the box with the trophy. I'm going to send you a big stack of the classic card. I've already decided that. I'm going to put some cards in there with the trophy for you. When I do finally get it mailed, you will get a bunch of classic cards, like a stack of them. Maybe your kids will want them and start a collection. So there's some really old cards in this classic card game. And, well, it'd be maybe a good start to getting some basketball cards. I don't know if they already have some. I'm going to add them to their collection. So Michael Porter Jr. is the card of the day. And it is Trucker Cass. They got it right. Isn't that right? Yeah. No, it's Fiercey. Fiercey got it. Fiercey was in there first. Fiercey got it. And that's only, I would say, 50-point card. That's too easy. That card's kind of easy. All right, I guess I'll start doing the wrap-up for the show. Let's see. Send the card to Kaz with the fantasy trophy. Sure, thanks. Awesome, cool. Awesome. You got it, Lex. Yeah, well, I'll see you around the chat in Facebook still. I know I said I'm getting off Facebook, but, you see me in there still. And, of course, I'll see you here. And, you can always call me too, Mo. You got my number. You can text me or call me anytime. We're like that, okay? So, yeah, you call me whenever you want for sure. All right, let's do the wrap-up. Guys, tonight the injury report is basically day-to-day for Shamshay and Pirtle. I think either one of them could play. I think that the injury report tonight may morph closer to 10 p.m. Eastern tonight, and we may see somebody sit just because they're going to sit, and they want to allow more of the guys from deeper in the bench to get more time tonight, like AJ and Jared Rhoden. So we'll have to see. There's nobody listed out for the Kings right now, and their starting lineup is Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis. So yeah, be ready for that lineup, Scotty and the crew. And let's win. Let's get the W tonight. I think y'all should win because in some ways we have better talent overall than them. I think we're deeper than them. And if we use the game plan that we're doing from Summer League, we should be able to bother them. And I would also say young players like Jacoby, Jamal, AJ Lawson, Colin Murray Boyles, y'all need some get back against the Sacramento Kings for Summer League and losing to them in the 5th game of Summer League this summer. So pay your receipts tonight. Have that kind of mentality. If a team beats you somewhere, you got to even the score, and you got to come back and beat them the next time. So hopefully you guys have that mentality tonight, and this can be a big part of the key to the victory, to the win, to the path of the victory in the win. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. So you guys maybe lie to yourself and say, man, these Kings pissed me off. They were such jerks to us. When we played them in Summer League, I want to beat their ass. Isaac Jones, you're not doing what you do in Summer League against this team because we got more size on the regular Raptors, and you can't dominate us with your size this time, buddy. That's right. I would say look out for Doug McDermott off the bench, shooting threes. Nick Clifford, you guys talk very highly about him. We'll have to see that rookie play for the Kings tonight. And, of course, our guy Dennis. I'm going to love seeing Dennis Schroeder. I always enjoy watching Dennis Schroeder play, whatever team he's playing on, especially Germany. But yeah, Dennis is awesome. The referees for tonight's game are going to be Guillermitas Petraeus. He actually favors the Raptors. Brandon Schwab is the second ref. He favors the Kings. And then Derek Collins is the third ref, and he favors the Kings also. So it's a bit of a favoritism towards Sacramento for the game tonight with the referees and the records, just so y'all know. That's right. That's right. Boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, Cass, for the WStream W community. And let's go, Fiercey. Let's go watch the Raptors play the Kings tonight. We have a full sports slate tonight. We got the Blue Jays and the Yankees in Game 4 of their series. We've got the Game 3 of the WNBA Finals, and we've got the Raptors playing the Sacramento Kings at 10 p.m. Eastern. So if you're staying up late with me once again tonight, I'll see you at the Discord, and I'll check in on the Facebook a little bit with you too, Monique. I promise. All right, y'all. Let's go, Raptors. Don't mess around. Come out and have a better showing. In some ways, the Raptors fan nation's out of pocket with some of the shit they've been saying. So let's change the narrative, Raptors. Grady Dick, IQ, and Scotty Barnes, and Jamison Battle, and others like that. Change the narrative. You have a blank slate tonight. It's another opportunity to come out and have a badass game and kick major ass. So let's take that opportunity tonight, and let's change the memory of Raptors Nation on what they're over micromanaging and analyzing right now that they way should not do, because this is only the second game of the preseason right now. So, yeah, let's go, Raptors. Beat the Kings. I love you, DeMar. It'll always be nice to see our friend DeMar DeRozan and also Dennis Schroeder on the download too. And you know what? I don't wish bad things for the Kings. I hope that they have a successful season this year, but we need to beat your ass tonight. That's what I say right there. Go Blue Jays. Don't mess around. I ain't going to be watching the game because I make a sacrifice of not watching the Blue Jays in the postseason, because when they play and I watch them, they lose, and I ain't watching them. So I'm doing my part to try and help them win by not watching them. So I'm rooting for you, Blue Jays. I know you can do it. Let's finish this series. You do not want to go to the 5th game. In some ways, you just take care of them right now and just do it. That's what I'm saying right there. Vladdy Jr., let's go. Let's go. All right, y'all. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the stream tomorrow. We'll react tomorrow. Once again, it's going to be a Thursday Think Tank format where I would love for you guys to call in, and we will talk specifically about things that we see from the Sacramento game tonight with the Raptors. That's right. Go Blue Jays. That's right, Fiercely. Let's go Blue Jays. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Leafs. Let's go Blue Jays. Let's go Raptors. Let's go Tempo.